Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
I stand up for y'all, but I don't need anything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. That's loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above them. I stand up for y'all, but I don't everything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. Never change. Loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above. I stand up for y'all, and the spirit in me. They out that black, cause that's some bricks he will be into me. My brother with a fan, cause they ain't really friendly. Sleeping on the floor, had nothing, they don't really feel me. Raised them on like he was 10, no, they don't really hit me. Women make me blow and smoke, it's a chimney. Ain't no dope, don't own it with me. I'm known from blocks to hoods, no need to mention names. Oh yeah, we do this for y'all, but that don't mean anything. If for them babies that had nothing, but it breathe for rain. If for them dumb ones that was beat, it would raise the pain. I bring that sword from my mouth, we gon' make a change. I stand up for y'all, I won't breathe his name. I stand up for y'all, but I don't need anything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. That's loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above them. I stand up for y'all, but I don't everything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. Never change. Loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above them. Stay on my toes and watch my back, I know them never streaking. Walk with the spirit, got that word, they can hear it breathing. Don't rub my back, don't grab my fringe, no, I hate that genie. That spirit bird, can I be moving, no, you can't see me. I'm not from this world, you better tell somebody, bro. Full of problems for the dollar, they'll say they about it. I give for your pain, cause they don't care about it. Walk through that fire for them, like, yeah, I got him, you want it, oh, yeah, I got it. Tell them never, it's too late for them. It just been time, the mother, he'll wake you down. I don't wait for them, better wait for them, and not play with them. I stand up for y'all, but I don't need anything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. That's loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above them. I stand up for y'all, but I don't everything. No, he got my back and he won't never change. Never change. Loyalty, that's loyal. Me from the bottom, we from above them. Peace and blessings.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Sorry about that. Thank you, Lady G, for letting me know I was muted. Man, oh man, I wake up to some disturbing news this morning. You know what I'm saying? And you got the NBA Chauncey Billups all up in the news, man. The FBI came knocking on the door. This is crazy. How many times we said that the game is fixed? Yo, ain't no way in the hell they lose that game. That game was fixed. And sure enough, now you see the games be fixed. Chauncey Billups, FBI been watching these guys for like 3 to 4 years. Got fouls on them 3 to 4 years, you know? So Chauncey Billups, he's been arrested for the poker games, being involved in the mobs and taking millions and billions of dollars out of people's hands, yo. This is not no light stuff what we talking about. This is not light. Chauncey Billups been caught cheating at the poker game. They got some type of devices knowing what's in the cards and all kind of stuff. And guess what? Yo, this ain't no joke, man. You playing with the mob, bro. You done took billions of dollars out of these people's hands. And sometimes when they don't have the money to pay, guess what? Guess what? It turns violent. So Chauncey Billups, I'm going to tell you right now, bro. If ain't nobody tell you, I'm telling you right now, watch your goddamn back, man. Watch your back. The mob don't play. And even if you are on the side of the mob, watch your back, bro. They don't want to leave no witnesses, brother, because the FBI said, we're going to get them to start talking. They're going to have to talk. And so I'm telling you now, Billups, watch your goddamn back, boy. Y'all playing with fire. Y'all are really playing with fire. You got caught. And this goddamn clown here, this clown who I'm going to show you, right? Let me show you this goddamn clown. This goddamn clown right here, he left the game after scoring 5 goddamn points. Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier left the game in the first quarter. Listen to me, y'all. He left the game in the first quarter because he went to go bet millions of dollars on the game because he knew he was going to win. He knew he was going to win the game. So he played for the Charlotte Hornets, right? And this nigga left the game in the first quarter after scoring 5 points, talking about he's hurt. And he left the building to go run and put that down payment down. And their team lost. The team lost. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are playing foul. And so I say, if they doing this, get them. Get them because people are losing a lot of money, man. FanDuel and all that stuff where we be trying to make some money, family, all we getting is pennies. We think we getting money. You know, we might win something like 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000. How much you think they getting? They getting billions of dollars, fam. I was looking at this stuff all morning. All morning. They raking in like billions of dollars. You see? So the FBI and the government is just mad. And the reason they mad is because they don't want you betting with them. They want you betting with the government, right? They want you to bet. It's called legal betting. So this damn fool right here, Terry Rozier, he done left the goddamn game to go and put his bet down. And they ain't not betting no $100, $1,000, family, because they know they're going to win. They know they're going to win the deal. And so this shit is rigged. And when people say the boxing is rigged, believe me, it is. They just ain't been caught. The boxing shit, the football, all of that stuff is rigged, man. So don't get caught betting on them. All this stuff is rigged. Word. All of this stuff is rigged. And about 30-something people been arrested last night. 30-something people. Right? And there's more to come in the NBA. There's more to come in the NBA. Right? So let me show you another goofy. Another goddamn goofy. See, they crazy, man. Here's another goofball. Let me show you another goofball. Damian Jones. Damian Jones gets caught leaving, leaking information out, y'all. Check this out. Check this out now. Check this out. Damian Jones, he caused millions of dollars to be lost. Leaking information. Running out, telling his peoples and everybody he fuck with, bet on them. They gonna lose the game. Why? Why bet on them? Because LeBron ain't playing. AD ain't playing. So-and-so ain't playing. And so everybody all those people go and run and put down stacks on Milwaukee Bucks. They put down stacks on Milwaukee because this damn idiot ran his damn mouth telling the people who's not playing and who won't be playing, causing millions of dollars to be lost. This shit is crazy, man. Huh? When you think it's sweet, when you think shit is sweet and you can get away with it, it looks so easy. So it's a wrap. I don't have the Mafia picture. Do you have the Mafia picture? Show the Mafia too. I don't have that. I don't have that one. I'm showing this one, but if I had it, I would show it. But yeah, man, these boys right here, they ass is grass right now. So I'm telling you, Rozier, Jones, Chauncey Billups, watch your goddamn back, man. Y'all cause people to lose like billions of dollars, man. You fucking with this mob too? Remember, I'm telling y'all, I'm the first one to tell y'all, watch your back. They don't want to leave no goddamn witnesses to start snitching. And you know you niggas gonna snitch. When they start talking 50 years, 100 years, y'all niggas gonna start telling. Huh? Because you got a family, man. You got a family, you got a house to take care of, you got your wives out there. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy right here. So with that, man, I just want to leave y'all with that right quick before we get into this thing. And let me let y'all know, man, this right here, that's coming up, this is going to be Sunday. Stay cool. Stay cool. The Scholastic Assassin will be taking on Captain Tazariak. Now, listen to me. It is not a debate. This won't be a debate. This is rounding off to see a debate challenge, if we could get a debate going. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, when Captain get up in here Sunday, he's going to try to make an excuse and say, he ain't ready for me. I ain't wasting my time. We all know that Sekou is ready for you, bro. If them white boys is ready, if them white boy passes is ready, Sekou is ready, right? So let's not let our captain off the hook. He's going to have to face Sekou. He got to face Sekou, man. You know? What do y'all say about that? What do y'all think about that? He's going to have to face Sekou. Twins, I know this is a conversation, my brother. That's what I just said. This is the challenge to see if we could get a debate going from here. I know that. All right? So this is going to be fire right here. I think this is a Captain going to really have to show his skills on this one. But Sekou is not going to let him off the hook. All right? So y'all want to have y'all asses in the building on Sunday. Tazariak can't give me a time. Let me see if I can get the time now, because he said he was going to give me a time today. Let me see if I can get the time now so I could tell Sekou. I can't wait for Sunday for this one. I want to see this. I think this is going to be one of the hottest debates ever. The best in Israel, the best in the Israelites.
What's up?
Hey, Captain, man. We live right now. It's just me on here.
I can't hear you, sir.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Say again, speak again.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up?
Okay, we live, but I'm just asking you, what time
I'm
Sunday?
on the phone.
What time Sunday?
Hold on 1 second, sir.
Okay.
Can you what? Yeah, I got it. What you say now, sir?
All right, what time Sunday? You ain't give me a time yet.
Hey, sir, hold on 1 second. I don't know if it's my phone. Let me see.
All right.
Speak now.
What time Sunday? You ain't give me a time for Sunday.
You stop.
All right, hold on. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, I took you off the thing. So what time Sunday are we good? You were supposed to give me a time.
It's only an hour. Let's do 1 o'clock Sunday for 1 hour.
Why you keep saying 1 hour, brother? Come on, why you being afraid? Why you being afraid, man? You know it gets longer than that, man. At least an hour and a half.
It's not gonna be no. I'm only giving him an hour. That way he can get right to whatever he gonna do to try to impress me.
Damn, Captain, you showing a lot of fear on this one, bro. You don't give nobody an hour, Captain. You showing fear on this, bro.
It's been an hour with everybody. So now an hour means he can't. Ain't no warm up. You got to get right to it. So tell him he got an hour, 1 or 2 o'clock.
You all right? Hey, Cap, man.
And listen, you can tell him I ain't got no questions for him. He got to impress me.
Okay, so he just got questions for you.
Now, I'm gonna have questions when he asks me questions, but I don't have nothing at the start.
Hey, yo, you know you got my wife in the chat right now saying I am for Captain. She going for you. Cynthia going with you, Cap. See?
Good. Cynthia, she always on my side. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my good sister right there.
Yeah.
So,
she know. But yeah, because you know how Cynthia is a little
you live right now?
I'm live right now. Cynthia, I'm gonna tell the truth on Cynthia. Cynthia is a little hating on Africans too, brother.
Listen, I knew me and Cynthia was here. I knew he was here.
Yeah, Cynthia be hating on the Africans too.
Yeah.
I be telling her not all Africans.
Yeah, I'm with all that. Yeah. I'm so proud of her now. So
yeah. All right, so come on, man.
Yeah, let him know he got an hour to impress me.
Just don't run and make up no excuses, brother. I think this would be the toughest debate for you, Captain.
Man.
Because you're not really giving him a shot. It's 3 rounds. If you could give him 3 rounds, that's totally different. At least.
It's not a debate.
I know, but I'm talking about this right here when you saying, "Oh, I'm only gonna give him an hour to impress me." You can easily say, "I'm not impressed," and jet and run. Come on, we don't know you for running, bro.
I don't lie. So if he impressed me,
we don't. But Captain, we don't know you for running, brother. Get your ass in the ring, Captain. That's it. If you can beat him, you can beat him.
I remember I did this to Black Jesus. We saw what happened. I did this to that French dude you had on there. We saw what happened. So everybody is so-called good. You always got somebody that's so... Listen, I remember you had me to battle that cat. They call himself the Holy Ghost.
If you can battle him, come on, man. Stop, Captain. Listen, you disrespect Africa. You disrespect Africans. At least you will give this brother a shot.
This is not about disrespecting. Well, first of all, he ain't my brother. That's your brother. And this ain't about this ain't about Africans or nothing like that. Like I said, like 3 weeks ago, I debated this cat. It was a total waste of my time. And if anybody go back to that debate, I said, I'm not debating just for the sake of debating. I think at this point, I've earned the right to be selective. So if he can impress me, then maybe I'll debate him.
All right, but Captain, your ceiling.
Hey, shout out to Elder Sultan that gave you that $5 super chat, man.
Yeah.
Listen, you should have said $30. Y'all give Captain too much credit. Why you only pay sa.neter $5? You should have gave him 30.
Nah, Suntan is always supporting me, so he does that in the Cash App.
Yeah, listen, man, I done beat everybody under the sun, and I still got to be told I'm running, I'm scared. So now,
but Captain,
you got to earn the right. I think I've earned that. You got to earn it.
Yes.
I'm not a nobody. That nigga's a nobody. He's an absolute nobody. I don't know him. My audience don't know him.
Listen, he beat Unc. He beat up on
Unc. Shit. Unc is trash. Unc is trash. Unc don't know what the fuck he be talking about half the time. That's why he came up with that phrase, a well-organized lie, because he be organizing lies to defeat this.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one right there.
So he's a nobody to me, so I gotta be impressed. If he impressed me, I'll say it. And then my audience, so remember, we're live streaming because my audience got to be introduced to him.
How about we leave it up to the people? Look in the chat right now and see what the people are saying.
No, I'm not going by that. No,
oh, man.
because listen, our people love debates. If I'm gonna waste my time to study, like I'm extremely busy. Like I do a lot. I'm going to Houston next week. Might be going to Vegas after that. So I'll be busy.
And the
so
debate will be right after that.
So, but if okay. So now, if I gotta waste my time for a debate, I have to make sure that it's worth it. So if it's worth it, then I do it.
You see what Keon said? Keon said,
I'm looking at the chat. Damn, Cat don't care about the people. I do a live stream every day on my channel.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that, Keon. I ain't gonna say he don't care about the people.
Listen, I do it because you go on my live, you go on my YouTube channel. I do a live stream every day.
Every day.
Because my people want the live stream.
Captain Chronicles every day. Captain Chronicles.
Chronicles. That's right.
Yeah, Chronicles.
All that. None of that. All them tactics don't work. That don't work.
Yeah, but we know when somebody sounds scared, though. We know when we can hear fear.
Exactly. This ain't fear. You know, I have conversations with everybody, man, and everybody say the same thing. Cap's scared, and when we get in that ring, damn, I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Yeah, but Captain, you're fighting white boys and Christians and pastors, bro. You are not taking on a scholar.
Listen, man, I take on gangsters. I take on Christians, Muslims. Sekou is not a fucking scholar.
Sekou is a scholar, man.
I listen to this nigga talk about he believe in evolution. That is the stupidest shit on the fucking planet.
So maybe that could be a topic. And you can beat him.
We'll see if it's something. Again, like I said, on Sunday at 1 o'clock, he has an hour to convince me why I should debate him. He's a peon.
Damn.
He's a peon.
Yeah, you funny as shit. But what does it take to impress you, though, Captain?
Something right now, my level is at 0 to want to debate him. He gotta do something that made me say, wow, damn, that's impressive. Ooh, man, I might want to do it. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's the best I got.
Not only did he beat Unc, he beat up on the whole pseudo killer squad. The whole pseudo killer.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Unc and them. That's his whole team. Remember, you made Unc change his name?
Oh, yeah.
You made Unc change his name when he came out on the 125th?
Yeah.
He was the Armored Raw Squad first.
What was the subject?
No, listen. Unc was the Armored Raw Squad first.
No, yeah.
And then when he went out there, you made him change his name and shit.
Yeah, ran him off the corner and shit. Listen, I done did that to a lot of people, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You done made Shaka cut off his ponytail, all that shit.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be the usual. I guarantee it's gonna be the usual. He gonna ask for the same Bible bullshit that everybody else asks. I'm not gonna be impressed.
I bet you he's not gonna ask you none of that. He's not.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. Well, tell him he's a peon. Well, if he watching this live, say, cool, you are absolute fucking peon to me.
Oh,
convince me otherwise that I should debate you.
All right, there you got it. You hear that, say cool? All right, Captain, man. Peace and blessings to you and the family.
All right, peace.
All right. All right, y'all. We hear Captain. Do that sound like fear to y'all, or what? Or is Captain right? Do that sound like fear, or is Captain right? Talk black to me, man. I think it sounds like fear to me. And why is Kemetian not in the building? What the hell is going on? So yeah, man. Hold on.
So I just heard you ask why I wasn't in the building.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you, brother. Come on.
Yeah, I was thinking 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock my time with the Florida thing.
Yeah, it's past 6 o'clock. It's 15 after 6 over here.
Okay. So let me get on in here then.
All right. Oh man. Damn, Sekou must have If Sekou was watching, he would have called in. He would have, matter of fact, he probably would have, yeah, he would have came right up in here. Rakufu, what up, man?
Oh, I didn't even know I was on. What up, Si?
What's happening?
Out here, I had some information, man, that the church, the Ethiopian church, the king had visited Jesus when he was in the manger. Now, we know all of this is the belief stuff, but even if that's the case, the 3 wise men visited Christ. One was the Ethiopian king, according to Ethiopian biblical tradition. That would be
Hold on. Unc, what's up, man?
Where you at?
I'm live right now. People hear you.
Where they at?
You're live.
Come on. I'm batting them down. I'm coming in. What y'all talking about?
Well, no, not now. I got Kemetian right now. Kemetian get ready to go at y'all.
Who?
Kemetian Adept, the one y'all been running from for years.
Come on, man.
You don't know
the same
Kemetian?
shit, man.
Smash, Rockwell,
No.
you, Garfield. Y'all been running from my young soldier, bro.
Yeah, he a pseudo, bro.
Regardless of it, he
Just
could
like
be
the
a
rest of
pseudo.
them.
He could be a pseudo, but y'all ran from that pseudo. Y'all was
I
running
didn't
from
run
that
from
pseudo.
I've
Y'all didn't want no
never
smoke.
ran from that man.
He called all of y'all out. Y'all ain't want no smoke.
So why don't you go back and look at the shows when I beat him unmerciful? Yeah, he's absolutely, no matter how much he studies, he's not going to overthrow. He's another guy that claims to overthrow the fields. We tell him we got the Nobel Peace Prize of literature in the mail form.
Yeah, I don't recall that. The last time I recalled y'all in there, I recall my young champion smacking y'all up, man. Smacking y'all
He's
up.
a pseudo champion. I know he's a pseudo champion. You know, that's what the pseudo champions do, just like Inky. Gonna overthrow modern biology.
Yo, and everybody know you now as a crybaby. You can't handle this. When I say this the toughest environment, you proves it all the time, brother. You get up here,
how I prove that?
You start crying.
Tell me how I prove it.
I'm gonna tell you.
No, what I cry about. Tell me what I cry about. Yeah, go ahead, make it simple.
You get up here,
what I cry about.
You start crying when you don't agree with the information. You cut people off.
No, I start crying like what?
Like right now, you cut me off. You cut people off.
So the cutoff is equal to crying? Is that how we doing it now?
Just let me finish. Because you
I just want to make sure. Go ahead.
You don't like nobody to cut you off. If you look in the chat,
go ahead.
If you look in the chat right now,
I don't trust the chat. I don't trust the chat. I don't trust your chat. How about?
Oh man, how the hell you don't?
I'm trying to find the link. I can't see it.
It's in the chat. Oh damn! All right, let me get it. Damn! Come on, Unc. Where the hell you at, man? Damn! I made a mistake and hung up on Unc because I got another call.
Unc get hot-headed, man.
How many of y'all know that Unc is a crybaby and he's weak when it comes to the information? If he don't agree with something, he'll cut people off and start cursing. How many of y'all agree with me? Am I lying on him?
No.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I know I'm not. Yeah, why you hang up?
I didn't hang up. Why would I hang up?
Let me finish saying what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to let you go. Everybody know you
I can
as...
pop up on the live. I can pop up on the live.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I said I can just get on the live.
Nah, because I got Kemetian coming up. You know, I got him coming up. And what I'm going to say is...
Well, he coming up in 5 minutes, right? Give me 5 minutes.
All right. Come on, man. Hurry up. Come on.
All right, bye.
Especially when Judah Nash start getting at you, you can't take it. You start crying and you cursing people out. Come on, man. Everybody see it.
I'll get tough.
Yeah.
That's my man, 100 grand, but I'll get tough as the mug on you. You know, He just as bad as apostle.
Hey, Kemetian, give me a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna go. Just let me get Unc ass up out of here.
All is well. All is well.
Yeah.
Unc something else, man.
So I got the former HOK champion here, Mandinka Mali, and now I got the original champion here, Kemetian Adept. Okay, so let me finish with you first. And what I was saying is, everybody know you as a crybaby. If I'm lying, the people now that's not taken away from your brilliance and your smartness. I know damn well you a killer when it comes to this information, but you got baby butt skin, brother. You got baby butt skin. You cry. You start cursing people out when you don't, when you don't get your way.
He know it too, though.
There you go.
I admit it.
Right, and especially when the Nas start going in on you, you really go crazy.
Can I explain my situation?
Go ahead and explain it, brother.
So you've created a new narrative, so now I have to create a narrative.
Go ahead.
You are a pseudo enabler. You enable people.
I like that one. A pseudo enabler. Yeah, I'll take that.
Wow, information on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best behaved, but in them paid events, I'm very behaved. I'm very measured in the conversation. So I don't mind all that. It's going to be the pseudos to say that. And yes, I can get better. But what I do know, all those conversations I had, no matter what y'all say, I at least adhere to science. And I'm going to give y'all points. Did you not play that Sekou debate over? Did you play it?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And do you realize, everybody say I lost? Well, not everybody, but people just saying I lost, right?
Damn near everybody. 90% said you lost the debate.
Okay, now remember what Sekou, first of all, Sekou put a pig and a human up there. That never happened. And then he said, well, I'm just saying it was a protest and the lady put that. But yes, this is unethical. First of all, he didn't even understand the science. I'm going to break that down to show that it wasn't that. Now, Sekou said out of his mouth repeatedly. Do you know what he said?
What he said?
He said that ancestors never separated their spirituality from their science. Did y'all not hear him say that?
Yes.
Now, Wish Muhammad will say the same thing. Adepti. He's going to say the same thing. Hate to tell you, there's a memo. That means it's not science. See? So Sekou didn't even understand that. And the fact y'all didn't catch that is wild.
But guess what?
I'm going to say the same thing. Nope, hold on. I'm going to say this again. When y'all start to judge at least my conversations, I don't mind losing. I'm fine with it. You never see me cry about that, Saul. What I'm saying is, just say I don't deal with white people and I can't stand the fact that that's the white man's science. Give white people the credit for being the most educated people on planet Earth.
Oh, man. Come on.
Everybody with it. Hold on. Wait. If you
I'm going to make a clip of this, man.
Yeah, man, hold on. Make a complete clip. Don't cut me. Make a complete clip.
Wow.
Say it again. When you say Unc is practicing the white man's science, then you have to admit then white people are the most intelligent people that came up with the most intelligent thing to study nature, and they use it to conquer the world. So how intelligent are white people then, since it's the white man's science? Remember that. Everybody says that.
Well, I don't say that. Ain't no such thing as a white man's science.
You stop saying it. You stop saying it. But that's what Inky say. As a matter of fact, to be right and exact, right? Sekou said it. He said our ancestors didn't separate their science from their religion. Did y'all not hear that in their spirit? Am I tripping?
They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
We all agree. Listen, I want to hear you say it, Saul. Clip this. Go ahead and say it, Saul. The ancestors didn't separate their science from their spirituality. Let me hear you say it. Go ahead, Saul. Go ahead, Saul. How about you, Elder Santani?
What you want to hear?
I want to hear you say that our ancestors didn't separate their spirituality from their science.
They didn't.
Thank you. Okay, because that's not science, brother.
That's what
you can't listen. No, listen to me. No, listen to what I'm saying, Sunday.
No word ain't
no. Listen, we're not going off my word. That's the point. You can't get mad at me. Listen, you cannot get mad at me if science says they do not incorporate spirituality.
Who created science?
No, Africans.
Thank you.
Okay, now, but they created proto science.
Right.
Difference there.
Yeah,
There's steps to get to modern science.
Right.
So what I'm saying is the reason they couldn't get there is because they was trying to mix it. That's all I'm saying. Listen. That is actually not a debate.
Would that make modern science? Would that make modern science the end all, or can we get modern science better than it is now?
The very nature of science is self-correcting.
Okay, so it can become better. Okay.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Just like you can make vaccines safer.
Well, that's the frontier. We understand that.
But do you understand that science does not mix religion or spirituality, because then that would not be science.
All right, hold on for 1 minute. 1 minute. Everybody hold on. Inky, say what you got to say. You got your kids in the background. Sound like you in the gym. You got all them kids in the back.
Yeah, we're doing a Halloween thing. Listen, the ancestors definitely did not separate their spirituality from their science.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I agree with you.
Appreciate you, Inky.
All right.
So wait this out, but do you understand what I'm saying? And I like the fact that y'all said that, right? I gotta clip it up, right? But then you just gotta admit, well, you're right. Our ancestors wasn't really practicing science then, because the very rules in science that was created by science was that you can't mix your spirituality with it, because that is science. No, wait. Do you understand why? Hold on. Do you understand why?
Go ahead.
You understand why?
Why?
Because a centimeter is a centimeter, whether you're in Baltimore, Maryland, whether you're in Australia, or whether you're in the middle of a voodoo concert. It's a centimeter.
Right.
You can't then say it's not really a centimeter because the gods say it's not, and I have did a spell and it's really not a centimeter. You get that? You get.
You got to put it in context.
That is the context. There is no other context.
I mean,
Science.
One side sound like an idiot.
Listen, there's no such thing as African science. Right? There's no such thing as black.
Yes, it is. African science is proto science.
Listen to me. This
right?
is serious. No, because if you're making a tool, right, and you need to build a fire. Hold on. If you need to build a fire, because we invented first use of fire, right?
Hey, come on, I gotta
go. Let me finish this point.
In the back,
Got you. Give me 1 sec. So you build a fire and you keep it at a constant rate, because we the first people to do that at Pinnacle Point in Bloomblocks Cave. And at this particular temperature, you have to melt the rocks to a certain point where you can shape it. Right now, you can't come in with your spirituality because you'll mess up the temperature. Well, the gods say the temperature need to change because they came down and told me. No.
All right, the people here to see the champ, man, Muhammad Ali, man. They here to see Muhammad Ali.
Get out of here, man.
Kemetian Adept. Hold on.
Ask me the same question.
Kemetian Adept has called out the whole pseudo killers. Smash Rockwell. They all ran from him. They all used, oh man, he's pseudo. He's pseudo. That's the getaway. That's just the getaway. But everybody know that the champ is putting the smash down on everybody. Anybody that step up and he don't run from nothing. So if you want to smoke, I got him right here. Tell him you want to smoke.
Yeah, I'm beating everybody half to death. All right, bludgeoning them. Your kids will look back at this and say, "Damn, that got beat down."
You ain't been to beat the Kemetian. All right, thank you, man.
Ask if the ancestors separated their signs from their religion. Ask them. Ask them.
No, hold on. Hey, Mandinka Mali. Did the ancestors separated their spirituality from science?
Never.
Thank you, brother.
Action Deppy.
Hey, Sa, just to add to that, it says, because Ankh said that's like saying that the inch in Africa and the inch in America. No, is there different inches? That's a good question. ChatBT said the answer is yes. There are different inches. So 1 inch in Africa may not be the same as in Europe, even though it's math. Go ahead.
No, I said centimeters, and you made that up.
I can just make the inch up.
You made that up. An inch is 12 inches of 12. Man, I'm not doing this.
All right. Kemetian. Did the ancestors separated their science from spirituality?
No, sir. In fact, to be truthful with you, the concept of what they call science come from the observation behind the creation as it
Bring it out.
relates to our ancestors.
Bring it out.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why
I
you.
got a video on that.
That's
Yep.
why you the champ. Come on, Unc. Yo, man, stop
You
it.
gotta put it in context,
man.
You,
But Tommy,
you
if there is no context to
you
that,
messing it all up, man.
listen, hey Suntan,
Yes, sir.
at least admit this, bro.
Go ahead.
That y'all just don't agree with science, and that's fine.
I love science.
No, listen.
All right, hey yo, I gotta let the champ do his presentation.
All right, man, do your thing, champ. Yo, don't get beat up. I'm gonna knock your head.
I'm coming to see you.
Got you.
I'm coming to see you.
All
right. Peace, everybody.
Hey, make sure they get them tickets. Sir.
Yeah. No doubt. Y'all, that debate is coming up this Saturday, man. Y'all don't want to miss out.
Yeah, that's gonna be the long line.
You should watch this just in case you might want to come in after.
Yeah, Pangin.
Don't listen to pseudoscientists.
All right. Peace, y'all. Y'all got to go head out. I don't want to kick you out.
All right,
you leave on your own conscience.
Peace and blessings.
Peace. All right, so everybody, I want to let y'all know right now the champ is in the building. Kemetian Adept. Hey, Kemetian, I want to let you know, and I got to warn you too, that you are about to step in a whole new lane, and it's called the Naphtali lane. He deals with the Canaanites, so be careful. She's in the building, she's in the chat, and she's watching to scrutinize everything. So be careful, brother. She's in the building. That's her. This is her lane right here. All right. So I'll pass you the mic, brother. Unmute yourself.
Unmute your mic.
All right. Yeah. What I was saying, as I say, this last little bar is loading up for me to send this PDF to y'all. It's good, but what I'm gonna do while it's loading up, I'm gonna open up with, the ancient Kemetic, Adept Moorish American prayer. I want to open this demonstration up right, because it's always good to open up with the ways of that which of our ancestors would call us demonstrate. So first, I want to rise upon the seven within the unbroken circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God, whom I know is Allah, not outside of the self, but the one within that exercises his spirit through me. And I give honors to his holy prophet, whom we know as Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We know that he was on the manifest, and we know he exists, so can't nobody say that he didn't exist, because we know that he existed, and he came in the spirit of all of those who came before. But without further ado and delay, I will open up now with the ancient Kemetian Adept Moorish American prayer. Ya Allah abnu heru makuneteru. Ya Allah abhet heru. Ya Allah ma'at heru. Ya Allah hotep heru. Ya Allah pert im sute pert im heru. Ya Allah bamadu. Ilhajit Sheps is Ray Abtu Ali. Alias. And that is to say, family, in transliteration, who allow the Father of the universe, who allow the Father of love, who allow the Spirit of truth, who allow the Spirit of peace, who allow the Spirit of freedom, Wallah, the spirit of justice. Wallah, you are my protector. Wallah, you are my guide. Wallah, you are my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, real quick. I want to say to the chat, to the audience, please don't disrespect the champ. Don't disrespect my guest. You ain't got to agree with him, but don't be disrespectful. All right? You can say what you want, Just don't say it in a disrespectful manner. All right. So I'm gonna ask y'all to be respectful. I only timed you out for 5 minutes. The next one could be for 20. Then the next one could be for 24 hours, and then final block. So if you don't respect me, if you keep doing it, that means you don't have no respect for me, and then I would just have to block you. So go ahead, brother Kemetian. Let's get it in.
Yes, sir. In gratitude, Sa, we give honors to you, man, for your honorable measures in allowing us to come forth on this platform. And we're going to represent the HOK well. You already got me loaded up in the queue.
Yes, sir. You
Y'all
there?
in trouble now.
Mm-hmm.
This is to address all of you. Like I told you, there's no more mercy when it comes to coming forth. So y'all keep thinking you're dealing with the old Kemetian. You know, it ain't nothing but pressure over here. Scimitar swinging. Because I see when you try, and basically what Saul went through. Our people, you know, are the main reason why we can't come together in unity. So it don't matter who gets sins when we bring this truth right here, but we here to wake our people up.
All right, so go ahead, brother. I'm gonna go make me a sandwich, and then you should be ready. I got your link up and everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm already ready. You know, and so our subject matter will be entitled Professor Drew, Egyptian Adept Student, True Founder of the Canaanite Temple, Moorish Moslem, or Mohammedan Mason. And I'm addressing, you know, those individuals and naysayers that have been out here speaking of Prophet Noble Drew Ali as being a student of Hamed Suleiman. We're going to put this thing in proper perspective, and after this, we're going to let you do whatever you do with it. We're going to let you know who the corporates is, who have been coming up with this foolery. You know, for those who have been slandering Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you disrespectful, hard-headed, stiff-necked set of people, you. And I'm talking to the ones that have a hatred for a man that literally gave his life and died for our people. This brother was literally killed for trying to teach our people. And you got these handkerchief head Negroes out here that want to be disrespectful to an ancestor. You see? But you're going to learn today. And this is dedicated to you, Judah Nazareth. We're gonna address everything it is that you have been in your illiterate way. And I don't say that right there to be funny. I'm saying it because I'm dead serious. You don't know how to comprehend. You understand? You don't know how to comprehend what it is that you read, and you took it from Eileen Bay's page. And going on that page, you don't know you indirectly took the sources from me. You understand? But we're going to set you straight tonight. So let me go into my presentation. You know, I already done rolled up my pan leg. I ain't even playing. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the first drawing. This is coming forth from the Egyptian Adeptus Research sa.neter session. Now, I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imani Mohadi Shabazil. My high name being the same as Dr. Shedawul Mentiel Muhajid Shepsuel, also known as Ka, a Kemetian Adept Hereford, a name that was conferred upon me by, you know, my teacher, Dr. Akin Pert M. Herutu to come and back. So, I want to start with going into the essence of our beloved brother, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, known in his earlier years as Professor Drew, the Egyptian Adept student. Now, a lot of people who have come across this have been trying to say, oh, he was a student of Suleiman. All of this stuff is unfounded and it's mere speculation. And we're going to prove it tonight, that Suleiman had nothing to do with what the prophet was doing. Outside of, in our history, we are told that he was a co-founder. So here we have a pyramid of men in Cairo, you know, and you can see here clearly Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Kemetian, is your screen showing, brother? Or
Saw said it was showing.
Are you sharing your screen?
I'm gonna have to call.
It's showing your emblem.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am
All right,
showing.
fella. Go
I
ahead.
am showing it, but I'm finna. Let me call Sa, because it's not. If it's not scrolling, then
No, I didn't know if you were trying to move
I'm
it or you were
glad you
staying
told me
on the
before I got.
screen.
No,
For
you're
sure.
right. I'm glad you
Yeah.
you said it, JJ. You know,
man.
because I got too far into this, because I was actually scrolling. So if you didn't see it scroll, then that means that
No, I wasn't even moving.
it's not working. Either that or it's froze or something. Because I see it on the screen, but hold up. Let me call Sa. Uh-oh.
All right.
Give me 1 second, because y'all gotta see this here.
Yeah, man.
Uh-oh.
Right, he calling Sar, man. Tazariak, he making excuses.
We already, Zarya ran from me too.
Hey, yo, I don't want
okay,
nobody talking. I don't want nobody talking. Let him do his presentation, bro.
Well, he had let me know, Saw, that my screen wasn't sharing. So we're trying to make sure.
Sharing.
Yeah,
No,
but it wasn't
moving,
scrolling.
Oh, it's not moving. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So that's what it was. He had let me know. I'm glad he had let me know, cause.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. It is moving.
Okay. Let me make sure. Can y'all see me changing images right now?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to take it out of the queue then and represent it. I'm gonna stop screen sharing.
Yep. All right, go ahead. Jay. You can finish talking while he's doing this.
Yeah, I was just trying to cue in on about Tazariak saying that Sekou is a peon. I don't see it that way. I see that, he came up, he debated a couple of heavy hitters, and I think you're making excuses because all Sekou got to do is challenge you in your 12 tribes chart. You're done. I digress.
Well, that's it right now. Can y'all see it moving now?
Yes. Yeah, you're changing it up now.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I want to make sure y'all see this.
Yep.
So as I was saying a few minutes ago, and we were showing this to our family, as I did my research on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, looking for him, in Cairo, I found a lot of different measures in reference to this, and we see it right here. In this pyramid of men, if you notice, I have a triangle that's surrounding a brother right here. Now, when we come over here to this side, I actually enlarged the photo, and you can see here, right here, next to the Professor Drew calling card of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Yes, sir. We are here. But I'm going to go deeper than this. This is just my opening to show you that our people, most definitely have been over there. And we can also see one that actually has a grand resemblance to Deuce Muhammad Ali, who was from this same area in the Sudan. Now, a lot of people like to talk about this guy that they call Abdul Hamed Suleiman, that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, according to our history, met while he was in Egypt, while he was in Cairo. But they never asked the question if he met Suleiman there and they came here and Suleiman became a co-founder, according to the Moorish history. Then what was Prophet Noble Drew Ali doing before he met Suleiman? You understand? Because he had to have some business of his own being over there if he met him over there. Now, for those who would like to say Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't go there and he did, we going off what Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself said. Let that be known. You see, in more than one area, he stated that he went not only into the area of Kemet, but his enemies said that he said it. There's a whole bunch of people that talk about him telling them that's where he went. And it shouldn't be a surprise because he ain't the only person that went into the East. There's a lot of people, a lot of his students, a lot of those who basically studied under him ended up going over there. So that ain't a big deal. But you know, the problem I have with these handkerchief head Negroes that we were talking about earlier is that they believe that Moses went to Mount Sinai without evidence outside of the book. I honor that and respect that. We believe that Elijah went to Mount Nebo, or Yehoshua, or Isa, or Jesus. If you believe that he exists, you believe that he went on Mount Moriah. Whatever Elijah going on the Mount of Olives, whatever mountain they went on, we believe that they went there without question. But you have those among our people, even those who claim to be Muslims, that want to deny my prophet his Hajj, as if he didn't have the right to travel to the holy city of Mecca. You see? But we're going to show you tonight. So I want to make sure that I'm making myself plain. And the source material is in here. I want to say that the position that I come forth from is demonstrating from the realm of being that of a hierophant. A hierophant is one who reveals that which is concealed. And that's the difference between an Egyptian adept and an Egyptian shriner. That's the difference between the two. A shriner conceals because that's a part of their oath. A hierophant reveals. Look up the definition. A hierophant is one that revealed that to you that you have always been searching for. And you know it when you hear it. So whoever can hear what it is that I'm bringing, and if it uplifts you, if it elevates you, then it's for you. I'm not concerned with the naysayers because I know half of them are illiterate to what it is that I'm speaking of. And I don't say that to try to beat nobody up. I'm just telling the truth. They're only speaking based upon what somebody told them as opposed to what they really know. And we are told in my paradigm, you have to be what it is that you know. If you know the truth, you got to be the truth. So the perspective from whence I come, for those who question my methodology and question, what is it he trying to teach? And is he mixing this and mixing that? Again, you are illiterate to what it is that I'm demonstrating. I hope to use harsh, word in that aspect, the movie in some type of way, especially to come up in here. But when you come up in here, when I'm done, don't you come up in here without nothing that you can rebut what I'm saying. Nothing that you can rebut that I'm saying, because I'm going to kick you off the panel. I ain't kicking you off because I'm running. I'm kicking you off because I ain't going to let you destroy this bill. If you don't have nothing to prove in debunking what I'm saying, don't come up here on my panel. The Ansarated priesthood of Moors, the keeper of the Ansarated mysteries of the Hashemites and the Moors of ancient Asia, a unified mystery string. This is the measure from whence I come when I demonstrate. For those who know, they know. For those who know, they know. For those who don't know, they won't know because they choose not to know. See, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, not because the knowledge is not there, because they have rejected knowledge. That's what it says. Since you have rejected knowledge, then I will reject you and your seed after you. That's in the Piscean records, the Bible. So it ain't that the knowledge ain't there. It's that our people, again, are a hard-headed, stiff-necked, mean set of people that have never done anything except at the point of a sword. And I got that scimitar on the manifest now. So the Ansarated mysteries of the Hashemite Moors of ancient Asia, ancient Kemet, Egypt, deals with what we call the mysteries of Al-Sar, the Sabaite wisdom, the solar atom monotheism in initiatic temples. That knowledge we harbor when it comes to dealing with us as being Egyptian adepts. Also, the Hashemite lineage, which is really the Cushites of ancient Kemet, which deals with the true Muhammad that can be traced historically, the one that was brown skinned with locks. Those who know of this tradition know what I'm speaking of. You know, but the covenant of this bloodline in the house of this Adept is the one we honor, and that is the bloodline of the Sabians, the same ones that are mentioned in the Grand Quran. Also, the Ansoretic Brotherhood, dealing with the teachings of Gnostic cosmology, wine allegories, the hidden imam, reincarnation cycle, secret rites, and initiation. That's what we demonstrate in the Moorish paradigm. This is what we demonstrate. So you're going to always hear us come from this special measure. The Moors of Asia Major, which really consists of, you know, what the earth was referred to at one time. Kabbalistically, we already know that the last Sephirah, which deals with the earth, is called Asia as well. So we're dealing with maritime law, divine harbor of Asiatic identity and nationhood, Moorish science, esotericism. You're going to hear that coming from me because we demonstrate from all of those aspects. If it's not in this class, it'll be in another one. The unified mystery system deal with Tawheed, divine unity. That means that if God is one, then we are one with him. And if we are one with him, then we are one with each other. It don't matter what your school of thought is and what you call yourself. So you'll never see me up here trying to bash somebody for what it is that they believe or who they believe in, because I know better. But we understand those, again, who are illiterate, and I'm going to use that statement again. They like the religious gangbang. And half of them can't even stand on what it is they're trying to bang about. You see? So, yeah, we ain't playing with you. We on your head. And it's precious. So I advise you to stay out the way if this ain't got nothing to do with you. Because if you jump in this, then you're going to have some problems.
Leave him alone.
I also want to say, give honors to my holy prophet, a man who literally died for his people. We know he was crucified for what he stand on. We know that for a fact. And I want to give honors to my grandson, because dealing with adept expression, when I was there, when he was born, they said he was going to be born on January the 10th. And I told the doctors right after I whispered the sacred words of life into his ears, as soon as he came forth from the womb of his mother, I said, no, he going to be born on January the 8th. The doctor said, nah. And my grandson was born on January the 8th, the same day that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is born. So when I celebrate the birth of my prophet, I also celebrate the birth of my grandson, knowing that I'm going to be able to put, this wisdom in him, and he can pick up and carry on, where I leave off at. Not only that, but knowing also my bloodline. And our brother JJ 7000 seen my DNA results. My maternal mother, the ancient one, 280,000 years old, is rooted in the Sudan. My paternal root is 180,000 years old, seated in the Sudan. The lineage crossed across Africa through the Sahel and went all the way over into what we call the door of no return, or Dakar, where the slaves were taken from. So yes, I'm Moorish by birth when it comes to my bloodline. In a grand percentage of being who I am. So can't nobody tell me that I ain't who I am. You understand? First thing I want to address is these three ruffians right here. These are the individuals that are the reason why you have so much misinformation out here now. Muhammad El-Ari, Jacob Dorman, and Patrick Bowen. All of them have wrote books, and they are feeding off of each other. And the problem I have with our people is that you would take the word of these swines and reject everything it is we say. And all of them, now one of them conclusively came to a conclusion that Suleiman was Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaching and teacher source. They only said that this was their position that they believed that Suleiman was the teacher of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And again, you handkerchief head Negroes, you know, done went and took this information and running around out here like it's the gospel when these Europeans didn't even, you know, solidify it in that way. And this is only because you have a hatred toward the Moors, and half of you don't even know why you hate the Moors. Half of you don't even know why, you know, or know who Noble Drew Ali is. Because you follow trends. You fear thinking for yourself. So these individuals have wrote works. This one wrote what they call The Princes and the Prophet. This one wrote on the Renaissance of Islam. And this one right here wrote on the history of Islam in America. And all of them fed off each other when it came to the information. And indirectly, some of the information they have come from me. I'm the source. And I'm talking about the information as it relates to dealing with a lot of the pictures and some of the newspaper articles that I put out there. And some that I'm going to show y'all that I didn't put out there. And I stopped it because I seen what they were doing. And I ain't going to put them out there alone. There were some Moors that wanted to be famous and be cited in their information that fed them some of this nonsense. And it just so happened to be that they come from the lineage of the same people that turned against Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So we're going to put it all out there tonight. And that's why you have so much misunderstanding. So let me move on. You know, and when you look this information up, most of y'all done already read it before. That's why you had an opinion you have. So I don't have to really go into it, but there is one that I'm going to point out. There's another one. Fatih Abdat. He part of the clique too, but I'm going to show you how he was coming to my Facebook. So they've been watching my page. So let me start, because like I said, I got a lot of ground to cover. I'm going to start right here. Thomas Drew. A lot of people tried to act like Prophet Noble Drew Ali was hiding his identity because he was known as Timothy Drew. Ignorance. Anybody that's right here on this panel, or the people that are watching, can tell you at some time when you done filled out some information, sometime they done came back and gave you a whole different name other than what your name was. And then when this happened, you look at it and say, man, that ain't my name, or that ain't how it's spelled, or whatever the case may be. But this is always a possibility. But what a lot of people don't know about Prophet Noble Drew Ali is that the brother was adopted by his aunt. So there's a possibility that his aunt called him something other than what he was normally called by. So based on that, you know, we will propose the measure Thomas Timothy Drew Ali, you know, as, you know, an official expression of who Prophet Noble Drew Ali is, because both the name Thomas and Timothy connects to, you know, birth certificate, so to speak, in relation to dealing with the prophet. And there's information out there dealing with the work that he was demonstrating on the Professor Drew that also attests to it. So we know it's the same person. But we do know that it is also said that in the records, attorney Aaron Payne was the one that placed Timothy Drew on the records. You know, so it's a possibility, you know, that he proposed the name Timothy when the name Thomas was already there. But nevertheless, we know Thomas and Timothy Drew is the same person. We're going to establish that off the rip for those who don't know. So here in the evolution, and this is what we call a census record. This is very important because a census denotes when a person was on the scene or if the person was not on the scene to a certain degree, right? It says Thomas Drew here, and they have 1886, and you don't see anything here. This is the birth year of the prophet. They're looking for him in the census. under the name Thomas Drew. So then you have Thomas Drew, 1898, 279 Princess Anne Avenue, Norfolk, Virginia. And this, around this time, if you coming from the age of the prophet, in his birth in 1886, he'd have been 12 years old by this time. They saying he was a laborer. We can see that because they had young brothers and young sisters out there in the field early back then. Then it says James Washington Drew, Lucy Drew here. Then we come here. Look at the year now. We come to 1900, and they're referring to this Thomas Drew as a farmhand. Princess Anne Avenue, Norfolk, James Washington Drew again, Lucy Drew, Addie V. Drew, Brittany Drew, and all of these are dealing with the same people, 1900. Then we come to a point in the census where 1910, it speaks of a longshoreman, North Virginia, Nicholson Street, but this is a Thomas unknown. So we can't say that this is Thomas Drew. And we see a Joshua Whiting here, which is not the same of the Drews that were up here. So this is some Thomas they found in the record. But he was not Thomas Drew. The last individual that was mentioned on the census is L.E. Drew, which is somebody misspelling Ali. 1916, a porter, Virginia. We know for a fact the prophet was a porter, according to his history. Now, you would ask of what is the significance then? Because there is no census activity from 1900 all the way up to 1916. So between that time period, what was Prophet Noble Drew Ali? If he was not present on the census as he had been up here, where was he between this 16-year gap right here? Where was Prophet Noble Drew Ali? He wasn't on that census record. So if he wasn't present for the census, then maybe he wasn't present in the United States. We ain't gonna say maybe, we know he wasn't present. But I'm just putting the thought out there for those who can see. Now, what it is that we have here, this is actually American students. And you see 1907 right here. And they were in Cairo being taught. This is around the time we have in our records that the prophet left the United States in 1902. And he returned in 1912, which is a 10-year period. That will be in that gap where he wasn't mentioned in the census. Now, I'm not saying the prophet is one of these young men here, but all of these are young men from America in Cairo or Egypt as students. If I was to say one looked like him as a young man, I would say it would be this man right here. But I'm not going to conclusively say that's what it is. I'm saying that all these students came from the United States of America. And over there in the Asuit College of Egypt, Cairo, you know, they were over there. It wasn't nothing uncommon for not a people to be taught, you know, amongst our people. I just want to put that out there for the record. So it ain't a surprise, according to that they were teaching young men over there. But our holy prophet went over there by means of another way. He traveled with a band, according to what we deal with, gypsies, fakirs, as some people would like to call them. And this is how he found his way, you know, in that circus, you know, with those who performed, he was able to make that journey. And when he went over there, you know, at some time, he was actually initiated into the mysteries or the teachings or that which would make him adept. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Now, here we have a picture that shows some pyramid guys here standing before the entrance of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. You see, and it would actually be the same gate right here that leads down to the grotto. the same place that our holy prophet, went in his initiation. Not the only place, but one of the many places when he was taken, according to what it is that we have been taught. He was given nothing more than a glass of water. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is the entrance to the pyramid. And you see these guys who we call silent brotherhood. You see, these are the ones who meet those for initiation. And the thing is about it, they blend in with regular people throughout the course of their lives, and they only come forth when it's time to take one through the chambers. This is the way they demonstrate. They look like common people. So here's a group of men in similar garb that you will see our prophet in a few minutes, and you can see that they are definitely of our people. These people will be found in the area of what we call Mauritania, and they are known as the Mozabites, who are also known as Moabites. Look that up for those of you who don't know, if you don't know. So, our people have always been present, in spite what other people believe, when it comes to deal with what it is that has to do with the antiquity of our people. So here we have Prophet Noble Ali, a picture after he had returned back from Egypt. He's around 26, 27 years old at this particular time. He had already been initiated. Remember, he came back in 1912. The reason that I have these two men beside him is because both of these men are of Egyptian birth. And they too were initiated, in Kemet. However, they came after Prophet Noble Ali. This is one known as Hamid Bey. And Hamid Bey came to the United States in 1927. He couldn't even speak English. But before coming over here, he went through his test and he became a Coptic master. And that's why he had these 7 rings around his headdress due to the test that he took. One test that he took is that in order to prove who he was, he had to swim through murky waters, through a secret entryway into the pyramids that was crocodile infested. Go read his history. That's what they say his test was. After making it past these crocodiles, he had to use mind power to detect the danger that was around him. That was the purpose of the Adept test. Because either you're going to be devoured by these crocodiles, or you're going to use your mind power, to basically stand clear of them until you make it into the pyramid. And then when he got into the chambers of the pyramid, he was given another test where there was a poisonous plant that was placed in the center. And he was given a 12-circle distance. And he had to come closer and closer as he could while filtering out the poison from his system. And he was only able to make it to the 7th ring. And that's why Hamid Bey became known as the 7th ring master. And that's why he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't make this history up. This is what his students teach of him. But one thing you can't say is that he taught Prophet Noble Ali, because he came to America in 1927, and Prophet Noble Ali was in Kemet from 1902 all the way up to 1912. You see? So they didn't even have a chance to have some overlap, so to speak. Now, Prophet Noble Ali's test, on the other hand, is that he was taken into the pyramid blindfolded as a neophyte. And once he was taken down into the entryway of the pyramid, he was told that he would have to find his way out of the pyramid. And they gave him only a glass of water. And it is said that it took him, till daybreak, that he was able to come up out of that particular situation, and he found himself between the paws of the Sphinx. We don't care that you don't believe that or you don't accept that. But this is the history that has been passed down to us. Just as any other initiatory system has a history that is passed down to them. You see, we do know whatever it is that he learned, it made him a powerful man, because he has done a thing that our people ain't been able to do yet. In the Canaanite temple, the man had over 8,000 people that was following him. Even though that forward, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Later on down the line, when he established MSTFA, he had more than that. Some people even say up to 100,000 of followers. But when it come down to it, he only did this in really a 7-year span. Because after he left the Canaanite temple and went to Chicago, by 1925, that was a short period of time for him to build what he built. When we see 100 years later, the Moors ain't been able to do what he done yet. And if it was not the will of the great God Allah, then Prophet Noble Drew Ali wouldn't have ever been able to teach our people anything. That's for you Orthodox Muslims, who like to spew hatred toward Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You believe in the will of Allah, don't you? So if you believe in the will of Allah and nothing happened except according to his will, then Prophet Noble Drew Ali wouldn't have never been able to stand on a milk crate and begin teaching our people in a mass of following unless Allah's will allowed it to. Think about it now. We can't pick and choose when we want Allah's will to be active or inactive. We got to stop it. This brother here, Haji Ali, named similar to our prophet, El-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. But Haji Ali, he got videos right now on YouTube. They called him the human regurgitator because he would drink over 50 gallons of water, or glasses of water, so to speak, and he would spew it at a distance. He was so off the chain where the Rockefeller said after he died, they wanted to pay $50,000 for his body. But he was known as what we call the 9th wonder of the world, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali was known as the 7th wonder of the world. So I guess being that Hamid Bey came in between the two, then he had to be the 8th, huh? Let me move to the next measure. So here we have flyers for the works that these brothers would demonstrate. Hamid Bey actually became the reason why Houdini died. Because Houdini was put on the spot to prove that he can do some of that stuff that he had been doing before Hamid hit the scene. And it was unproven, and unfortunately, Houdini lost his life playing with a real adept. Go look the history up and you'll see what I'm talking about. They was buried alive. Hamid came out the last man standing. So here they call Hamid Bey, the youngest of Egyptian miracle men, a member of the Coptic cult, not a magician, but a genuine in person. So they had the date, and they advertised what he was going to basically do, his little demonstration. Notice the type of garb he got on is similar to the garb the prophet had on in the previous picture. And Haji Ali, what you see over here. Here is, Haji Ali referred to as the great Egyptian enigma, the 9th wonder of the scientific world. So important to science is Haji Ali's body that the Rockefeller Institute of America have offered $50,000 for it after death. See, that's what the Europeans like to do. They like to demonstrate their scientific method when it comes to studying anything that they consider, a phenomenon. They wanted $50,000 for this man's body. So it says Haji Ali marvelous gastronomical feats have baffled the greatest scientists of the world. This amazing Egyptian does seemingly impossible. He swallows about 50 glasses of water and follows that with a pint of kerosene and starts a fire with the kerosene and puts it out with the water previously consumed. They got videos of him doing this now on YouTube way back then. Go look him up. Haji Ali. Look him up right now. The first appearance in England, Janice Hart and Frank O'Brien, a huge international cast of New Faces Empire. And then they give you the date, right? That's my birthday, actually, September the 27th. Just had it. Now we have one where our holy prophet had his mission. And he demonstrated, don't miss the great Moorish drama. Look, come ye everyone and see the seventh wonder of the world. Events in the last days amongst the inhabitants of North America. The prophet Noble Drew Ali will be bound with several yards of rope, as Jesus was bound in the temple of Jerusalem and escaped before the authorities can take hold of him. So will the prophet Drew Ali perform the same act after being bound by anyone in the audience. He will heal many in the audience without touching them, free of charge, as they stand in front of their seats manifesting his divine power. Come one, come all to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science at the Community Center, 3140 Indiana Avenue. They give you the time and price to be paid and the date. So all of these men perform certain things before their audience. Prophet Noble Drew Ali took it to a whole nother degree, though, when he talked about manifesting his divine power and healing the people without touching them. And this is something, this is in 1927, but the prophet had been talking about demonstrating these things way long before 1927. That's what got him in trouble in Newark, New Jersey. Here's a picture depicting, those of the family of Ibn Saud. And I put this up here because our prophet has a picture of Ibn Saud in the Moorish Holy Quran. And it is said this family is where he received his high name from. The El Hajj, the Sharif, the Abdul portion came from the family. And we can see a lot of Asiatics or our people of dark hue surrounding, this particular family. So it wasn't nothing uncommon for them to be there. So it wouldn't have surprised me if my prophet, just like he said, had been commissioned, through that family. This is a picture that was given to me by an elder sister through her grandson. He reached out to me through Facebook and said, my grandmother told me to give you this. And she said that this is Prophet Noble Drew Ali in Egypt. Now, we can definitely look at this and tell that these are foreign Muslims, so to speak. And that does quite look like Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I couldn't validate it as being what it said, but if she's an elder and she passed the picture down to me, she had to get it from somewhere, or she knew something. Just wanted to add that in here. This was retrieved as a result of my own research. This is the prophet, again, a young man. This is him as a young man, very young, 26, 27, after he had returned from the East. And we're going to show you this based on what this picture is sourced from. But I found in the same time when I was doing research, and I found that pyramid of men, the brother right here. If you notice, I had an arrow pointing at him here, and around him, according to this source, are what they call dragnet men. And dragnet men are tour guides. Look that up. The dragnet men are tour guides. They guide people. This was actually at a hotel in Cairo in the early 1900s. And you can't tell me that ain't my prophet right there. I don't care what you say. But anyway, These tour guides were guiding people. So nevertheless, I'm going to show you the origin of that picture I just showed you a few minutes ago. But we're going to get into this. This was a newspaper article that I found. And it came from newspapers.com for those who want to know the source. Look it up. We ain't going to give you everything in your hand. You know, we ain't going to just give you these sources and you ain't looking them up. We want you to go do your research. Started as a fakir. The prophet's true name is Timothy Drew. 1915, he was accompanying a Hindu fikir in a circus when he decided to start a little order of his own. The first temple was set up in Norfolk, Virginia. But the exactions of the law was such that it was necessary to move, and he went to Newark, New Jersey. And law soon found the affairs of the order entangled. And that's what I was referring to earlier. We're going to show you what happened, you know, around that time. And it was decided to come to the West. And the first temple in Chicago was set up in 1925. Here the organization has prospered, numbering about 2,100 people at that time. In its membership with Chicago as the headquarters, and a score of temples have been set up throughout the country. So they say 1915. So this would have been after he came back from Kemet. They say he was accompanying some figure. So I began to look around and try to find, you know, which prominent Hindu people that he could have ran into. It couldn't have been Paramahansa Uganda, because he came to Kemet. I mean, he came to America at a later period. But it is a possibility, being that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as you would see in a few minutes, that he may have crossed paths with him while in India. However, this particular brother, a fakir, Hazrat Ania Khan, was traveling around in the United States around that time. In fact, he entered the United States of America in 1910. And he was a circus performer too. You know, he performed in bands and so forth and so on. You know, so it is a possibility that around that time, anybody of interest that knew anything, if you know about the teachings of universal Sufism, you know, Hazrat Ania Khan would be the closest person, you know, that would have been, you know, on the manifest during that time of the prophet. You see, we saying this, you know, just to go into what they saying in the newspaper. So here you have Hazrat Ania Khan, fezzed up. In an older age, you'll see more pictures with him fezzed up if you look at him. Here's Paramahansa Uganda, and look at the garb that he has on, you know, and the dress and the style of the dress, because you will see Prophet Noble Drew Ali don in this same type of garb. You know, so there was definitely some influence, you know, whether from the teaching of this brother, you know, in regards to dealing with our prophet. Ain't no doubt in my mind, I know the prophet was familiar with his teaching. Ain't no doubt in my mind, I know the prophet was familiar with his teaching. You know, and he could have been inspired by both of these men in some way, par himself. We won't say that conclusively, but looking at what the prophet taught and the principles that he taught, they look way more than familiar. Now, this is where we get into the sources. Remember that picture where I was just showing you when the prophet was young? This is an actual brochure from the early time of the Canaanite temple, where Prophet Noble Drew Ali was known as Dr. Drew, the great divine healer. Possesses power to heal all kinds of aches, pains, fevers, such as constipation, dyspepsia, convulsions, lumbago, heart disease, indigestion, neuralgia, paralysis, piles, female diseases, rheumatism, nervousness, bronchitis for himself, asthma, fits, constipation, deafness, blindness, etc. He was Dr. Sebi before Dr. Sebi was Dr. Sebi. Basically, the great divine healer. These strange secrets are from that great country of India. A demonstration will convince you of his mysterious power. This is Prophet Noble Drew Ali, known as Dr. Drew at the time. Around 27, 26 years old. Look at him. Young man. out here like this. This is way before people started trying to act like they so hip in teaching Kemetic science and everything now. He was doing it way back in 1916, 1913. It said, call at his office today and you shall be healed. Men, women, and children of any disease, natural and unnatural. He can drive away all evil influences and give business advice and clairvoyance and second sight read. And you may call, look like it says, and see him at once, and he will relieve you of your troubles. And then it gives you his office hours when he was operating. School Street, Newark, New Jersey. Now, my question to you is, where was Dr. Hamid Suli Muhammad at this time? Where was he if he was the teacher of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? We're going to ask you this a couple of times, and you'll get it in a minute. Where was Suleiman to teach Noble Drew Ali these things? Where do you have any proof in documentation that Suleiman even taught these things? For those of you who make the claims, including them 3 ruffians and Europeans I showed you in the beginning. If you just gonna believe them, just by what they say, and I'm putting documentation out here, then that shows that you love the way that the slave master think. And you're only looking for a one-up to try to slander Prophet Noble Drew Ali because you disagree with him. Half of you ain't never read the Holy Quran and disagree with it. Half of you never read his oral statements, don't even know what they are, and you disagree with it. You hate him. Shame on you. At least he was out there trying to do something to teach our people. How you gonna hate a man like that? He wasn't out there slanging death to our people. He wasn't out there trying to kill his people. He dedicated himself to his people to teach them because he loved them. And you want to try to find something wrong with that? Well, show me your works, you handkerchief head Negro. You dirty more, you. Show me your works and show me what you done that he had did in 7 years. Show me how you can top that other than running your beak. This document compiles verified primary scholarly sources concerning Thomas Drew. Here go your source. I just showed you right here. Also known as Professor/Dr. Drew, the Egyptian adept student active in Newark, New Jersey between 1913 and the early 20s. This persona is associated with the individual later known as Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple. The material below include the Newark Evening News article, 1916, and calling card reproduction, which we showed you earlier. Actually, we're going to show it to you again. Professor Drew, Egyptian adept student. The 1920 census record referencing scholarly citations. Newark Evening News, June 27, 1916. Primary article describing Dr. Thomas Drew, Egyptian adept student, arrested in Newark for clairvoyance and medicine charges. How has there ever been a charge of somebody committing a crime from demonstrating intuition and telepathy and clairvoyant readings? Only the European can get away with that. And medicine charges, practicing medicine without a license. Dr. Sebi, before Dr. Sebi, was Dr. Sebi. Dr. Thomas Drew advertising as Egyptian adept student who has been performing miracles in his mysterious chamber in an attic at 2nd School Street. We showed you School Street right here at the bottom of the document. For several weeks, sat most of his morning in a cell in the 4th Precinct lockup. He was charged with pretending powers of clairvoyance and selling medicine without a license. Newark Evening News, June 27, 1916. We're going to show you that article in a minute. Professor Drew calling card advertisement. We already showed this to you, but we're going to give this to you again to bring clarity. Public domain reproduction of Professor Drew's business card listing 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey, and identified him as the Egyptian Adept student with the phrase, "I am a Moslem." This calling card was reproduced in scholarly works, include Fatih Adept. Remember this name. I want y'all to really remember this cat here. Watch him now. Fatih Adept, Before the Feds. This was his work that he wrote, slandering the prophet. Really just spewing information that they have no knowledge of. Half cocked. Image reference here dealing with Wikimedia Commons, Professor Drew, Egyptian Adept student. They also had this all over the place. I'm going to show you the card. Y'all seen it earlier. It was the first slide that I showed y'all. And it's right actually next coming up. But it says, since its entry lists as Thomas Drew reside in 181 Warren Street, Newark, occupation, preaching on the public streets. This directly connects to the address printed on the calling card. Source Wikimedia, Commons, Fatih Adept. Again, same person, right? Fatih Adept again. All over the place, before the feds. Journal of Race, Ethnicity, and Religion. Volume 1. Then you have Patrick Bowen, one of the ruffians I showed you in the first beginning, them 3 Europeans I showed you. African American Islamic Renaissance, 2013. That was his book. Blog and essays on Newark mystics and Newark Public Library microfilm archives, Newark Evening News. These Europeans really don't have any other source for some of the same stuff that we had already put out there. And they begin to write in journals and, create different aspects of information and put it in a book. And y'all listen to what they saying, and they ain't even the source of the information that they cite. How y'all let these people get away with it? Or is you like Unc to where you just love the European so much to where if they say it, you believe it? Because that's the problem that most of our people have. The European can say something to you and you believe it without doubt or contradiction. You will push it and promote it as if it's the God, heaven's truth. But when it come down to your own people had already said this and set this information out before you, it had to be pseudo. They need some sources. But the European is the only person that can get away, and we've seen it many times, come up here on the House of Consciousness, and y'all would take their word as the gospel. This is what let me know that some of our people are still suffering from mental slavery, which is the only form of slavery that we have, according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This material provides the verified historical record of Thomas Drew and his activities as an Egyptian Adept student in Newark, New Jersey, bridging the early esoteric and public persona and later Moorish Science Temple Foundation period. So I have live links to take you into areas that I want you to see. Remember I was telling y'all about that one Fatih Adept? This is my page on Facebook, people. I posted this. I say the Prophet round 27 on this reflection. Look at what we have right here in my comment section. Fatih Adept, the same culprit that was writing about the Prophet. Now listen to it. Salam, brother Ka. I'm very interested in using this brochure for an essay. Can you send me a better image of this? I will credit you in my essay if you like. Thank you. Now, see, he was able to get, they was able, them ruffians up there, them 3 Europeans, they got some of the Moors. You'll see it. They cited them in a lot of their material. It's some Moors. I ain't gonna even give them no shit. No, I ain't giving them no light here. But it's some Moors. Look it up for yourself. Jacob Dorman, Patrick Bowen, they both had some type of inference from these Moors that's supposed to be Moors in the Moorish Science Temple. And these Moors were cited in their information. I didn't care to be cited in nobody's information. Some people think that's something. Who are you to cite me? Especially when you coming to me asking me, can you use some of the stuff you found in my page? Now you're writing famous, you're out there slandering my prophet. Hell to the no when it come down to dealing with this demonstration. No, you ain't getting nothing from me. And that's why I stopped posting information. And like I said, a lot of the information they had, they got it from my brother Arlene Bay. You know, when you go into the Holy Temple of Science, he took a lot of the stuff that was in my page on Facebook, because I use my page to teach. And he took some of that information and he put it in his site. Matter of fact, I'm going to go into it. I always talk about it, but I never go into it. And a lot of this goes into what they call the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. Let me see, because my brother got all the pictures in here. Here it is right here. We'll go to the page. He even cited me in here. Our brother, shout out to our brother Arlene Bay. You know, he cited me, you know, in his in the information. He let them know. I wasn't the only one. He took information from a lot of places. A lot of it is his own research too, because Arlene Bay been doing research for a long time. So don't think we trying to slight him and say that he took everything that he have from my page. That is never the case. I'm trying to get a page that take me right to his website, and it opens it up. Let's see. I'm gonna do it this way. Let's see if it'll give it to me here. Because it's on the Moorish divine and national movement of the world. Normally when I'm looking, it'll pop up. I want to go to the actual website, not these other links. Come on, man. Where you at? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Some of these pictures usually will lead you to it. Yeah, they be hiding that stuff. Let's see if I do it this way. If I put the more name in there, it'll let me pull it up. Okay. I think it might be this one. No, not that one. Where in the world? Let's see, if you ain't trying to look for that stuff, you always find it, won't you? Not that one. They got everything up here except the one we looking for. Let me find this. Okay, not that one. Let's see. We'll pull it up there. Nope, not there. Not there. Oh yeah, they really got this demonstration here, and he must be Shadowbane. Because I done put his whole name up here, and it still didn't put it up there. They got all the images up here, but they ain't linking to the page. See, all these right here going to that page. All these. Let's see if it let me go through this one. You got to really dig. You got every last one of them up here dealing with the Canaanite temple and all that. Let's see if this one takes us in there. See, this one right here actually is one too. This is one that he has in his page right here, Aline Bay. And it went over the history that I just gave. Born Timothy Drew, 1886, in the state of North Carolina, received a Muslim named Sharif Abdul Ali while studying in Egypt. You see? That's in Brother Aline Bay's page. Aline Bay page. All of these come from the page. But if you ever can get into his page, what it does, he show you where he's citing all this information from. All these pictures on Aline Bay page right here. You know, even this stuff dealing with the NOI and Master Farad Muhammad. Why is it not allowing me to go straight to the page like it normally do? You know how you can click on these pictures and it'll go to the source of what a picture at. It is not letting me do it right now. Every picture I'm clicking on now, one of them is mapping its way back to the brother, to his website. But I don't want to waste too much time right now. What I was going to show you is just where he was citing my name and some of the stuff he was saying. You know, but I want to keep going with this here because we don't want to lose momentum on who Professor Drew, the Egyptian Adept, is. You know, so this is the card that they were citing earlier from 181 Warren Street. And what I did is I made it clear because as you can see, this is real hard to read right here, family. Real hard to read. So what it says in all clarity, it says, I'm a Muslim. Remember this from 1916. Professor Drew is a man who was born with divine power. He was taught by the adepts of Egypt. It didn't say adept in singular, but adepts in plural. So where was Suleiman during this time? I keep asking that question. I have the secret of destroying germs of tuberculosis and cancer of the lungs 10 to 30 days. Many of y'all seen this already. Your lungs can stand a very strict examination that the germs are entirely destroyed. Also destroy the germs of Eden cancer, gout, rheumatism, lumbago, heart trouble, female diseases, and serious affections of the body. Call at once. It says adults and children, and be relieved of your sufferings. If you have any doubt about my treatments, you can be healed before a dollar is paid with security. Through these divine treatments, there has been great successes of contagious and long-standing diseases which have been cured in 2 or 3 days. I also give instructions and interpret the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. Also have 18 years of Christ's life that is silent to your holy Bible for those who desire to know more about Jesus the Christ. Now this is in 1916, which means he had you know, these lessons before he started publishing the Moorish Holy Quran in 1927. And you handkerchief head Negroes like to run around here and give Levi H. Dowling the credit for the work when the people who he studied under were the ones that narrated that he got it from the Akashic records out the ethers. You want to believe that and say that's where the Prophet Noble Drew Ali got him from, Levi H. Dowling, who got him out the ethers. When Levi H. Dowling tell you that these documents existed in Sanskrit manuscripts from India, they was already there. So when Prophet Noble Drew Ali say he got the lessons from those who held them back from India, Palestine, Egypt, and so forth and so on, he told you he got it from somebody. And then he divinely prepared the document. He didn't lie to you and say he got it from no Akashic records or it was revealed to him by no angel. He didn't demonstrate no school, but you want to believe a cracker. You want to believe that swine that come out here and tell you, well, he didn't even tell you that. Like I said, his followers the ones that told you that. He got it from the Akashic records. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali plagiarized. No, that European was an Indologist. Look up the word Indologist. Look it up. He was nothing more than an Indologist that got hold to the lesson and came out and act like he had it, you know, well, his people did it. I can't even say Dowling did it. It was the people that followed him. He didn't even claim the stuff that they put on him. You know, but nevertheless, them 18 missing years of life of Yahushua, and also the prophet talking about what he could heal. He was before his time, family. And he actually was doing some work, evidently that worked, because he had a real nice clientele. That's what got him in trouble. So as you see, I have here the Egyptian Adept Master. You know, you see, you know, one of our Adept Jews that represent, you know, our ancient Kemetian order. You see the scimitar. You know, we see, you know, our Per'ah above the scimitar with the wings, you know, extended from him. But anyway, I put this here for a reason. This is a quote from the Grand Quran of Muhammad, or the Holy Quran, from Yusuf Ali, after everything I just said previously. Of them, there are some who pretend to listen to thee, but we have thrown veils on their hearts, so they understand it not, and deafness in their ears, if they saw every one of the signs, not will they believe in them, insomuch that when they come to thee, they but dispute with thee. The naysayers, the unbelievers say these are nothing but tales of the ancients. So what you doing now when you come up here trying to buck and get your little thing off, you ain't doing no different than they did in the past. And this is from the Grand Quran, the Holy Quran, the 6th degree and 25th landmark. In other words, Surah 6, Ayat 25. So I stated here, and this is for those who claim to be Moors. This is for you who deny our holy prophet his Hajj. Who would deny Prophet Noble Drew Ali his Hajj to the east, but those who reject his prophethood? You hypocrite, you munafiqun, you. Those of you who have been aiding these ruffians and these Europeans to compile this information that they tried to weaponize and utilize against our holy prophet, you're a traitor to your people. Yeah, I said it. Come see me. Come see me. I know who he is, and I know what you promote. I know what you stand for. So our brother chairman wrote this, my Grand National Chairman. This is from the Exhuming of a Nation, and I'm going to have a few more quotes from the Exhuming of a Nation. It says, in 1902, Timothy Drew, born 1886, January 8th, left the USA, went to Egypt at the age of 16. Wasn't he far too young to join any Masonic lodge? He returned as an Egyptian Adept Master and Moslem of the ancient order of Islam. Wasn't he too wise to stoop to Freemasonry? In 1912, he graduated from the ancient Kemetian mystery system, Islamism. He was given the high name of Sharif Abdul Ali. With the most benevolent degree the greatest school on earth could bestow upon any man as a prophet, angel, and Moslem, the name of faithful. He went into the holy city of Mecca, there being accepted by Sultan Saud, a direct descendant of Hagar. Ali made his Hajj, and with their protections and blessings, he left for the USA at the age of 27, with the sacred name El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. He did not join a Masonic lodge while in Arabia or Morocco or India. So why would a lodge trade in their master, their most worshipful master, for a bona fide holy prophet fresh from the holy city of Mecca? Following his meeting with President candidate Governor Woodrow Wilson, the holy prophet founded the first temple in 1913 on the second floor above Dixon's Barbershop in Newark, New Jersey. As a 27-year young Muslim and a tested prophet of Allah, pray tell what in this world could a bunch denationalized NBC Lodge brothers suffering from mental slavery possibly have to offer the wisdom of Noble Drew Ali? That's my chairman talking. So you know he wasn't no Mason. But he made a good argument here. If he left in 1916, he was initiated as an adept, an Egyptian adept. Why would he come back to the Americas, and go through a whole nother system of rites when he was already at the heights in the top with the Kemetic teaching? That's the argument my chairman is making. And why would he be accepted? You see, they didn't accept Suleiman. There's some measures, here. And I want to go back up, and I'm going to go now. There's a measure here that I wanted to give to our family. Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali made this statement. He made a few statements. And I actually put them in the midst of all of this information. Looked like they didn't catch them in my PDF. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight to the raw form of the PDF since it didn't record it. And I'm going to show it to you. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said this: I took the cover off all secret organizations. This statement alone proved Prophet Noble Drew Ali was not a Freemason. See the author's commentary. This is my Grand National Chairman. If he took the cover off all secret, this Prophet Noble Drew Ali saying this, that I took the cover off all secret organizations. If he said that, then that alone should let you know what he was demonstrating. But he also said, do not bring children to an adept meeting or in the building where adept meetings are taking place. If you go to an adept meeting, do not tell anyone who does not go what happened at the meeting. There's a reason for this. Because we're dealing with rites, ceremonies, and form, and some of them would be terrifying to them young babies if you know what ones go through in some of those processes of initiation. Try to have your temples in buildings where meetings are on the second floor. Notice it tell you that they were meeting on the second floor in Dixon's Barbershop. He said your services can be better secured and held without interruptions or trafficking people. You see? There's another measure up here where Prophet Noble Drew Ali was demonstrating. I'm going to wait for this, and I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to that one, that slide. But it didn't load up when I loaded them in here. So we see the prophet spoke on, taking the cover off all secret organizations. We see he said that. We see that we ain't seen Suleiman yet. Where's Suleiman, his so-called teacher to you naysayers? Where is he, Judah Nazareth? Where was Suleiman when the prophet was demonstrating all this stuff? It states the Moorish Divine and National Movement, May 1st, 1916. And I had this in my archives and didn't even know it the whole while. Not this portion at the top, but these actual documents. I knew about this one because that's why I saved it, but I saved them at the same time. But this particular one is very important too. It's a divine constitution. Look, this is a question in the FBI. And they're questioning a member of the Moorish Science Temple, one of the most prominent and known members of Moorish Science that have did work internationally and nationally, Dr. Grand Sheik Frederick Turner L., who was real close to my chairman's teacher, Dr. R. German Bay. He was a student in the school of the ancient Canaanite temple as a young child. But they were questioning Turner L. And so they asked him, you know, he said, you will understand what we mean by corporation, regularly incorporated under the laws of that respective state. They're talking about incorporating, you know, the temples and so forth and so on. So it says every state in which we operate, we recognize the laws of that state. That's what Turner L. responded. It says these two documents that you have here, one has a seal on it, which it says in its stamp incorporated in the state of New York, October the 5th, 1938. Then he answered, surely. He said, do you remember what is the right date? Can you read that? Can you tell me when it was incorporated in New York? He said, October 5th, 1938. They say, what is the date of the incorporation in Connecticut? October 17th, 1938. At the time of your ordination, the movement had not been incorporated then. No, it was in existence. It was founded in 1913. Question, the agent asked him. 1916, was it not? Answer, really, according to our questionnaire, meaning the 101s and 102s. Question, I will call to your attention to this document which says founded May 1st, 1916. And it says that was when it was put on a solid foundation. He says, in any event, it was not incorporated until after your ordination. Yes, sir. So in other words, though the prophet was teaching in 1913, 1916, he had not incorporated his movement as an organization at that time under any laws or any state. And Turner L. is pretty much confirming this. Remember, he was a student at the school of the Canaanites as a young child. Actually, his father, whose name is going to come up in a minute, he was actually a part of the original Canaanite temple as established by the prophet. So it says, yes, sir, it was incorporated afterward, and I was ordained. That's right. It said, did you have two separate ordinations? Were you ordained on two separate dates? Then he said, my date of ordination was my first ordination, which was September of 1933. That's when he became a divine minister. That's a few years after 1929, when Prophet Noble Ali died. 2.5 years or 3 years, so to speak. So here's the divine constitution that was found, that they also had, you know, after they had seized a lot of this information before questioning Turner L. See what it says there, found in Noble Drew Ali, May 1st, 1916. In the document. So this is actually the first time, you know, where the prophet actually used the term Moorish. This is 3 years after the Canaanite temple he had been teaching in. But 1916, 3 years after that, you know, he will give you the reason in his later literature, as he quoted it to the governors here in the Moorish American nation, the temple. He said, to all governors and grand sheiks and head officials of temples, by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali has said the following thing. during this, our very first convention. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, and we call this in the government, our government, Moorish American government, the preparation age of soul and the fulfillment age of fruition. This is MST of a Moorish membership, that unfolds later into Moorish American government citizenship. From membership in an organization to citizenship in your own government. It states the Moorish Science Temple of America, and these are Prophet Noble Drew Ali's words. The Moorish Science Temple of America was organized to play a useful and defined part in the advancement of the sacred obligation of American citizenship. In other words, to teach them how to be citizens. He used the religious article and amendment to bring our people into the knowledge, but he had a greater plan. Whereas the divine or the Moorish and divine national movement was founded for the uniting of the Asiatic states of North America on May 1st, 1916. This is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali was stating here. May 1st, 1916. He established the Moorish divine and national movement for the purpose of uniting the Asiatic states. And this is where our Moorish kin, has dropped the ball. The uniting of the Asiatic states didn't just refer to Moorish Americans. It referred to our people in whatever organization they may have been in during that time period, as it does now. That means you can be Nation of Islam, you can be a Hebrew Israelite. You may not recognize yourself as Asiatic, but that's the way we express it. You can be, Black Panther Party, new or old, whatever it is, this is where we have dropped the ball at in uniting our people as a whole. And a lot of it got to do with because our people were thinking that the organization was just a religious organization. My chairman, coming out of the organization, realized that the prophet had established a government and tried to tell him that, and then he got set up by his own brothers. He got tossed in the well like Joseph. But that's a whole nother measure. You see, look at the symbols that we have. Salvation, our God, unity. Marcus Mosai Garvey, L. Our beloved brother, Prophet Noble Drew Ali referred to him as his harbinger. The one laid the foundation for him. If you go into the early works of the Garveyites in that around 1923 and 1925, they was pushing a Moorish concept real hard. Go and do your research. They were pushing a Moorish concept real hard during that time. Salvation, our God, unity. What's wrong with that? We ain't giving you no concept of a spook out there somewhere. We got to be one with our guides, our teachers, our leaders, and one with our God, and that's the only thing that's going to make us one with each other. No matter what it is you stand on. That's what the uniting of the Asiatic states deal with. And we have a holy covenant of the Asiatic nations, which extend to our family throughout the world, all the 7 continents. But we can't unite the world or straighten our brothers out in the East until we get our brothers on point in the West. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said this, that he was due east. You see? And so there was a vacant seat in the East. But that seat has been filled. That sovereign Godhead and Sultan, supreme ruler of the government of the world, is in power. Because we don't believe that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is dead. His physical garb is not here. But he said, I can better defend you from the plane of soul because there the enemy can't hide. And anybody that believes in African spirituality know that our ancestors are able to aid us from the plane of soul. Let's be real. So anyway, watch this. Divine and National Movement, to give you some idea what Prophet Noble Drew Ali idea of teaching was back during 1916. Come all ye Asiatics and learn the truth about your nationality and birthright, because you are not colored, etc., and you must claim a free national name to be an American citizen. In other words, to be recognized in America, not to be under their government. But as long as you take the titles colored and get on the colorism, you're going to be considered property. And that's the paradigm teaching of the Moors. It says, learn of your forefathers' divine and ancient creed. It didn't say religion. It said creed. It said in that you would learn to love instead of hate. And we are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come link yourself with the families of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. So this is why you see me coming from a universal perspective. We ain't looking at no conflict. We can unite with our people. It's our people that believe that they are only Muslim, that they are only Christian, that they are only Hebrew, that got a problem with other people. Moors ain't got no problem with what nobody else believe in. That's why I feel through my path and my journey, it was the best path for me because I have a universal mindset, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't put no handcuffs on our consciousness. He opened us up to be able to communicate and embrace everybody, no matter what it is they teach. So any more that you find that is crippled in their mind and they bang with somebody on their belief, they don't know the teachings of the prophet. Under this divine principle, all Asiatics of America need to come and take, it says, out their nationality and identification card for Moorish Science Temple of America, that you may be blessed by your Father God Allah. These holy and divine words are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Means 3140 Indiana Avenue, and it goes again into the main office and so forth and so on. But where was Suleiman teaching this doctrine? Find me some evidence that Suleiman was teaching these things before you get out here running your beak, hollering about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Learn what he learned for Suleiman, and Suleiman taught him, etc. Regurgitate what you heard from these Europeans, the swine, and understanding now why your mind is so infested with lies. Worse than the trachea worm, eating your brain up. I want to quote from this measure since I done touched it now. I came back here, I told you I would. When we speak of Islamism as the first creed, religious creed, as a Moorish school of thought, we honor the Quran and the salvation that Muhammad brought. We honor the gospel that Yahushua or Jesus brought. That's love and truth right there. Them principles in our star. We honor the enlightenment that Buddha brought, the peace. We honor the teachings of Confucius, the balance, the chi, freedom. And this is your justice here. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, after your fire, I will be your water. You see that running through there from the center to the outer bounds, 360 degrees of knowledge. You see? So we honor all of these teachings. See Ali and the ether? That's what our prophet brought to us. So love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, is what we come to teach. 360 degrees of wisdom. You see that? So here are words from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Religion. Speaking on religion. He said, your forefathers are the founders of the straight and narrow, the world's first religious creed. He say, and salvation to this day, it is called Islam. He ain't talking about what the Arabs brought. Trust me, he's not. I self-law am master. I separate Lucifer and man. I seek refuge in Allah's mathematics, like our 5% nation would say. Islam is that old time religion. Before the end of time, every knee will bow to Islam. It's not talking about Arabized Islam. Don't worry about how you're going to be saved. It will be done in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Allah alone is perfect. Some of my best Moors are still in the church. They ain't woke up yet. That's what Prophet Noble Ali said. Muslims are not made, they are born. This is my chairman commentary. A Muslim is made with the will of Allah who made them. A Muslim is with or without a garb of flesh. Anytime a Muslim goes into a church for any reason, it ceases to be a church. And it's a temple. That's what Prophet Noble Ali said. Do not throw away your Bibles, because I'm going to use them to condemn the government. So that's how the Moors use the Bible. War upon the man that calls himself a Jew. One day there's going to be a holy war. He said, you Moors don't recognize Islam because it's yours. Your religion is Islamism, something you live every day. These are Prophet Noble Ali's words. And it is this thought pattern that caused the first schism in the old Canaanite temple, which brings me back here, the first schism. In fact, I actually had something in here on that, so I'm going to go over it first here, dealing with that first schism, because it's very important that our people can see this. In that first schism, because this didn't convert over when I was trying to show y'all, you know, it was talking about, and this is given the history. One of Drew Ali's divine ministers told of a time when he set up a meeting of Christian preachers to counsel with the prophet, the holy prophet, to see whether these preachers would follow the holy prophet. The preachers and the pastors were assembled, and the divine minister was addressing them. Before the holy prophet came to the meeting, one of the preachers said, if he, Noble Drew Ali, could do what Moses could, I would follow him. The holy prophet was not present in the room when this statement was made, and the meeting place was on the 3rd floor of the building that they were in. When the prophet arrived at the meeting, he told the preacher, I can do what Moses did, but if I came walking into a meeting with a lion on a chain, you would jump out of the window and kill yourself. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali stated, Asiatic preachers and Masons will be the last to come home. They will fight me tooth and claw, but cannot win. So this automatically lets you know that they had set themselves up as the antithesis against Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And this is what led to the first schism. How do we know? We finna take you there. Let us go back here. We giving y'all all sources, information, everything in honesty. So here we have the last will and testament. We finna show you now why people have so much conflict in believing that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. I'm gonna show you where the confusion come in at. This was the last of the Canaanite temple member. Somebody was able to get, you know, this information from this particular brother by the name of Walker. It says May 1978, you know, the temple was given an annual bus ride in Hartford, and our passengers were mostly Asiatic friends and relatives of brother and sister Ella L. And it says, on this particular ride, a new face were among the group of friends of a long-standing of Miss Richardson and brother L's cousin. I recall ever making his acquaintance. In fact, I never engaged him in a conversation during this ride or subsequent rides. For over 2 years, Mr. Richardson kept trying to talk me into talking to a brother, to Brother Walker. Many times she told me and Sister Ellis L that he knew of our prophet and he had affairs. For some reason or other, I wasn't, I guess he'd say, interested. Late March 1981, she called and informed Sister Ellis L. It says, and to try and get me to go and visit the brother. He is very sick. And that same evening, I went to the hospital and visited him and introduced myself. And he remembered me from the rides. We talked about his illnesses and what had happened, and he was expecting his daughter to be coming from Texas, and I soon left and had other visitors. The next day I went back to see him, and I met his daughter, Diana. Shortly, his daughter came in and told his daughter, well, his doctor came in and told his daughter, all tests so far indicated he had cancer. Before leaving, I offered her my service. 2 days later, I went back to visit him and found him alone. I asked him the following question. Brother Walker, Jerry has told me that you knew Timothy Drew. He said, yes, but I always called him Drew. He added, we worked together and belong to the same secret societies. Now, this is where the ignorance of our people come in at. The brother who was interviewing this brother put in parentheses Mason and Odd Fellows, right? This is what the brother put in a parentheses. Anytime you see somebody put brackets on something, you know it wasn't a part of what the person said. It was added in. Just like in the Quran, you'll see certain things that say prophet, and some Muslims will put Muhammad. Or in the Bible, you'll see where it put, Jesus, where it really didn't mention Jesus in the book. So this is basically what happened right here. But it's going to be made clear in a minute as we go through this. This is why you got people running around here. Oh, he was a Mason. Because this brother said, no, this brother said they was part of the same secret societies. He didn't say what it was here. Well, one of them is what he would emphasize on, but you're going to see that it's a total different. He said, where did you meet Drew? Dixon Barbershop on Warren Street. Brother Walker, I always thought the barbershop on West Market Street. No, it was located on Warren Street. What did you all do in the barbershop? In those days, the fellows met, planned. The barbershop was the neighborhood and social center. We had no place to meet and had no money. Do you know what he meant right here when he said fellow? Odd fellows. He's saying that these odd fellows were meeting in the barbershop. He said, was Drew one of the fellows? Yes. So now we understand that the brother was saying that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was an odd fellow. And to the ignoramuses among our people, they think odd fellows are Masons. And an odd fellow is not a Mason, though you may have a Mason that become a part of an odd fellow's order. Just like a Shriner is not even a Mason. But you have to be a Mason to become a Shriner. But Shrine and a Mason, two different things, to be honest with you. Just like the Pythian Knights is not a Mason, but you might find Masons that are Pythian Knights. Just like the Moose or the Elks. All of these are different organizations outside of different measures. You see, and then furthermore, there have been those who have done the research, looked on Masonic membership rolls, where the prophet lived in various temples, lodges that would have been around his area, Shriner and Mason, and they have not found his name on any Masonic rolls. Trust me, it would have been there. I don't know about them, but the Moorish Science Temple, when it comes to them keeping records, the Moors, can't nobody keep no record like no Moors. Why you think I got all this information going back to dealing with Prophet Noble Drew Ali? So surely you got to find out. We can't even really prove that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a part of the Odd Fellows outside of what this brother's saying. We don't have records of saying that, but we see what he's saying. But he said that these brothers was meeting in the barbershop. So that wasn't even an official Odd Fellows temple. So this brother could assume that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason and an Odd Fellow because he was around those various brothers. I can tell you, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was surrounded by Masons and people in different groups, from the first temple, even in the Moorish Science Temple. A lot of, the Moors that was in the temple had been part of them different lodges and organizations and so forth and so on. But that didn't make the Moorish Science Temple a Masonic organization. You got to show in there where the prophet was initiating them in Masonic degrees. Because our Adept degrees ain't nothing to do with no 3 degrees of Masonry or 33 degrees of Masonry. That's why I told Judah, you know, you asking the wrong person to debate you about some Masonic degrees. Our Adept degrees don't have nothing to do with Masonry. You see, so all of this is really speculation, you know, outside of someone to be able to produce the paperwork. But the brother did say he was one of the fellows. He didn't say the brother was a Mason. The brother up here put this, the interviewer is the one that put that in brackets. And he's going to do it again in the end. He said, when did you first meet Drew? In 1913, just before the First World War started. It was around this time I first started to meet with them. Then rough in those days, no steady work. It says, how do you all live? A day's work here and there. Those who did work steady, worked 12 hours a day. Did Drew have a job? Not that I know of. I believe he worked part-time. Give it a second right here because this ain't the paid version. You know, unfortunately, and it's going to let me go rather further into what we was reading. So we putting it out there, family, and we being honest about everything we putting out here. We don't hide nothing. We just giving you the proper understanding behind what it is that we putting out here. Why you got so much misunderstanding. It says, Brother Walker, you told me that you and Drew worked together. And where? In 1915, we started to work at Western Electric on 18th Avenue, Newark. Did Dixon work at Western Electric? That's the brother that owned the barbershop. Reverend Dixon, remember that name? No, he still cut hair. Did you and the others still meet at the barbershop? Yes, but not as often because most of the fellas was working then, and 12 hours a day. We got together on weekends and the group had increased. What you said, Brother Walker, is the shop became small, too small for the group. Yes, it was decided we found a meeting place. What year was it when you found a place? 1916. All right now, y'all already know about that date. Where was this place located? We found a place on the corner of Rucker Street and 12th Avenue on the 2nd floor of the saloon entrance on Rucker Street. Brother Walker, what month and day you and the group began to meet? It was in May. We took up a collection to pay the rent on June the 1st, so it had been May 1st when we first met. Who did the teaching? This is key. Drew did the preaching. Dixon helped, and he was a 2x4 preacher. Now, what was Suleiman doing this time to you individuals out there have been running around talking about Suleiman was Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaching? We still ain't heard from him yet. Where was Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman Muhammad, who we call in our records, we say he was a co-founder? But you don't see him talking about Suleiman. Not yet. You don't see no mention of Suleiman being demonstrated here at the moment. Oh yeah, we getting into detail. Oh, we just getting started though, because we got to get into them gestures. So anyway, it basically said that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the one doing the teaching in this temple. And it says, what was your meeting place called? It says, what was it called? He say, was this the only name that it is known by? He said, no, I was trying to remember the first name. The name is a song about a holy land and the people that came from it. He said, was it Canaanite temple? Yes. It says, was Drew the head of this temple? Yes. And Dixon the next. Now remember, this temple had not been officially incorporated. This is key. But the prophet was the head of it. Where was Suleiman? Did you know Dixon? He asked me. No. I've seen the name on the books in the Hall of Records. Brother Walker, I was told Drew lost out his head of this temple. Yes, he did in 1919. And this is the key. Why there's so much misunderstanding on who founded this temple. Dixon took over. Brother Walker, could you tell me what Drew preached about? He had a Bible, and he preached that we came out of the holy land of Canaan, and we were holy people, and we was not Negroes, colored people, and Christianity was not our religion, or the religion of our people. And we were not Christian, but Muslim. I spelled the word like it sounded. So see, he done put another group of brackets in here. You know, your boy didn't say that there. Walker didn't say that. That's what the interview said. So this is what I'm talking about. You know, when you hear that term and you see those brackets there, that was added into the text. And it was not what the person originally said. This is the interview, you know, interjecting these measures in there. So once you understand that, then you see what a misunderstanding comes into play. Anybody know anytime you add brackets, that's something that exists that didn't exist originally in the conversation. So anyway, it said, did he preach all of this in one meeting? No, at different times. Did Drew ever say what the religion of our fathers were? Yes, over in Hartford. The years I forgot it. When I went on your ride, I heard the name Islam, and it came back to me. Brother Walker said he heard them say Islam, and the name came back to him. Brother Walker, I've been told Drew left Newark in 1919. And he said, no, we were still working together on Plain Street until 1921, but I did not see him after 1922. So by that time, Prophet Noble Drew Ali had made his exodus, and he finna let you know why. Brother Walker, I know you are tired. Answer one more question for me. What do you think caused the Dixon to take over the Canaanite temple? When Drew kept preaching, we was not Christian, and he and Dixon had words over this, and others joined with him. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali was trying to teach them Islam, and they didn't want it. I told you, he said it. You see what he told them when he was trying to convince them. What he said, Asiatic preachers and Masons will be the last to accept his teaching. They're going to fight in tooth and nail, but they can't win. You know, so he left and promised him he was going to come back Sunday, but he didn't make it back, and he visited Monday evening. The first thing he asked was, how was the meeting today? And the meeting was most enlightened. When you come home, I want you to visit the temple and speak to us about Drew. He told me many times, I've said to myself, I was coming out, Brother Walker, how many of the original members are still living? The last one passed 3 years ago, and I'm the only one. You know, okay. And we almost done with this. So you can see why, you know, there was a schism in the Canaanite temple and what it was over, you know, and what Prophet Noble Drew Ali was teaching. So ain't no doubt about that. But my question is, again, is where was Suleiman? I want to know what Suleiman was doing this time. That's what I keep trying to ask. You know, where was Suleiman? So, you know, basically, he said, Brother Walker, from what you have told me about Drew as a young man, you have enjoyed hearing him preach. If you could only bring yourself to believe he is a divine prophet and bring yourself to ask him to help you, you could overcome your illness. Jesus once said, faith is a ladder reaching from the heart of man to the heart of Allah. Try, Brother Walker. Drew remember you even more so than you do him. You know, so he basically said that he visited brother for a last time, and he tried to get him to repeat the Moorish prayer, and he could not. You know, and he went to his demise around 3 a.m. Then it just go to talking about his funeral, you know, and his family and everybody there. You know, and the last member of the Canaanite temple was now resting in peace. So this is where, again, this conversation come from when people are thinking that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Mason. We finna prove to you For again, you're going to have to show the records, you know, where he was a Mason, or even an odd fellow. Even though I would say he was most likely influenced, you know, by the odd fellows. And I'm going to show you why. In one aspect, as far as dealing with certain symbols that are here. We're going to get into that in a minute. But before we do that, I want to go into some of the things that happened that caused, well, that didn't just cause the schism, but what was going on around that time. It was said at this time, this is the first time he met Brother Master Farad Muhammad, who was going under the name of Wali Fawad Muhammad Ali. You know, also these things went on in that Canaanite era. This is one of the aliases that Farad was going under. Where did he get it from? Wali Muhammad Ali of ancient Egypt in 1805 and 1867, the founder of the Muhammad Ali dynasty, which pretty much was the bridge between the Turks and the Egyptians. And if you look here, this is a picture from Farad after being arrested in Detroit. This is a picture of one of the Fuad Muhammad Ali dynasty, you know, descendants, looking just like Farad. You know, he has the flag over his head. It says freedom, justice, equality, Allah in Arabic. This is where they get it from, freedom, justice, equality, Islam. You know, and so you see Prince Fuad Pasha here. And I got a picture right here at the bottom. I'm going to show you in a minute. It's blowed up. It's the next slide. We finna fly through the rest of these slides, so to speak, you know, so we can get to our panel. So it says, hence, one of the aliases used by Master Farad Muhammad was Wali Fuad Muhammad Ali. He was hidden at his true lineage. His flag is of his father's descent line. So here is a blowed up version of the smaller measure. When I was looking, you know, for measures of dealing with Farad, because I'm very familiar with the history of the nation, you know, these are the pictures that I found connected with this, especially this one here and this one. From youth, manhood, and maturity, the founder of the Allah Temple of Islam, Dr. Fuad Mehmed Bey, which is another alias that was used by Farad. I'm going to show you in a minute. It's coming up. But anyway, Wali Fuad Muhammad Abdul Wali, known as Wallace Farad Muhammad or Master Farad Muhammad. This is him in his youth family, in his young age. You can see the eyelashes still the same. Look at his lips. His mouth, you see that same little cleft under his chin. Look at the ears. The ears definitely don't lie. You know what I mean? So this is all my research. See, that's the freedom, justice, equality, Allah. Right there. That's where the NOI flag, freedom, justice, equality come from. We ain't saying this to try to have a one-up on our family. This is Farad as he would have been during the time of the Canaanite temple. Abdul Wali Farad Muhammad Ali. You know, this, I'm showing you what came out of, you know, some of the activities in the Canaanite temple, you know, and I'm really coming through a chronological record. In 1919, our brother Sheikh Ahmadine, aka Fahmi Rasul, Paul Nathaniel Johnson, founder of the Fahmi Temple, came about in 1919. He too was a student of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He didn't go against the Prophet though after the Prophet left, or after he left, but he recognized who the Prophet was. Right down here, he have a drawing in his book called the Fahmi Gospel, and he was speaking of some of our people, and they would be reincarnations of some of the ancient ancestors, like Nat Turner, Dred Scott, John Brown. You know, he went through a whole bunch of, you know, he come all the way down through a lot of our people, and he mentions Amin Ra and Amin, and he speaks of Prophet Noble Drew Ali as being a reincarnation of Amin Ra. This is in his teaching now. And a lot of the teachings of, and this is the seal of the Fahmi, the great seal, you know, and a lot of this teaching that the brother taught is the Adept teaching that the Prophet taught. He even went into the concept of the seal of the prophets. For those of people say, well, how can Prophet Noble Drew Ali be a prophet? Ain't nowhere in the Quran that say that there's no seal or no prophets, and there wouldn't be no more. Even in the hadiths, there's a hadith where Aisha said, say he is the seal of the prophets, but do not say he is the last of the prophets. Aisha said that according to the hadiths, you know, that they look at, you know, but the Quran never said that Muhammad was the last prophet. He said Khatami Nabi'in, he was sealed, sent to those among the Arabs. So Paul Nathaniel Johnson was speaking on this in the Fahimi Gospel, the book of understanding, as he wrote it. He said a prophet seal simply means approval of God. I've been teaching this for years, a stamp of authenticity. That's all it means. If you don't acknowledge him, God acknowledge him. That's all that meant when they called Muhammad Khatam Nabi'in, the seal of the prophets. Allah has put his stamp on him if you don't believe it. But it says it just means approved of God and verified by him. The Most High God puts his stamp of approval or his seal upon all the prophets and the true believers as well. See Holy Quran, the allies, 3340. Many prophets have appeared in the world since that time. The Son of Man have the Father sealed, John 6:27, Revelation 7:3. The last prophet of God to the Arabs was the Holy Prophet Muhammad. The last prophet of God to the Jews was the Holy Prophet Jesus. And it is significant that no prophet has appeared to the Arabs, neither to the Jews, since these prophets came to them. But this does not apply to the so-called backward and heathen savage people who has had no last prophet. He's talking about our people. So rest assured, God has not forsaken them, nor left them to the mercies of men. If there would be no more prophets, there would be no more progress. We consider Drew Ali as a prophet, and Ahmad of India, the Baba Baha'is as a prophet of God, and many others. So even though Brother Paul Nathaniel Johnson, you know, who they call, you know, Fahimi Rasul, you know, the first prophet of Amen, you know, even though they called him a prophet as well, he seen Prophet Noble Drew Ali as a prophet because he had studied up under Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And in 1919, he established what was called the Ethiopian temples of Islam. And when he established the Ethiopian temples of Islam, it later became the Fahimi temples. He also became a part of the Ahmadiyya movement. Now look at here. Here again, in my pictures, look at this guy. Fatih Abdat, same person. Where you get this lovely photo from? So these people been in my, I done showed you already. These guys been in my information family, you know, and that's P. Nathaniel Johnson. He wanted that photo like he wanted the other photo that I had. You understand? So these same people that have been writing these books, making money off slandering my prophet, throughout their little journey, they done been coming in my page, looking. So, you know, a lot of them are taking stuff right out of my page and creating, you know, this confusion. That's why you got to be careful. But I let them cast. Don't worry. I'm getting ready. Wait till I cast. Wait till I get through with my book. It says the Fahimi School of Islamic Science. This is a card, an ancient Islam revealed. This certifies that the holder of this card is a Muslim whose faith is in one God, Allah, whose respect is for all of the prophets of God, known or unknown. The Fahimi is big on that. They just like the Moors. We don't go at nobody because of their belief. We also have record, you know, of some Moors being Fahimi and being in the MST of A as well. I got that in my records, but I'm going to say that for the book. No God there is except Allah and Muhammad. The master prophet is the messenger of God. Allah is the first and the last. Surely the religion with Allah is Islam. Meet every Muslim of whoever race, color as a brother or sister. Meet every person of wherever the sect or creed or color. It says on the terms of peace. Quarrel with no one over religion. This is Fahimi. This is understanding. Shun all evil and indecency. The Bible of Islam is Al-Quran. A Muslim is pledged to obey the laws of the land wherein he resides. See, we don't beef. We don't beef with people over their belief, you know? So we're going to let y'all have the beefing. Also, Paul Nathaniel Johnson brought like 700 converts into the Ahmadiyya movement too. Here's another group that came up out of that schism, that came on the manifest during that time. This particular group is none other than the Moorish Zionist Temple, founded in 1919, between 1921. They give many different individuals the credit for the founding of this. They even try to take the date back to older, and that date can't be substantiated, the older date, but this date can be substantiated. The 1919, 1921, some people say 23. Some people say Mordecai Herman was the founder. Some people say Rabbi Ford, Josiah Ford. You know, some people mention Rabbi Matthews. But I can tell you this came after the schism again of our prophet, and we are also told that the Garveyite Rabbi Ford was very much affiliated with this, and they say he was the true founder, some people say. You know, Rabbi Ford had been a part of a Masonic order, though. You know, they had a group known as the Commandment Keepers. You know, they had a group known also as the Cushion Congregation, right here. All of this came around the same time after the prophet had left. These groups popped up. So what I'm showing you here, family, is that the Hebrew Israelites, whether they know it or not, they are a child of Prophet Noble Drew Ali indirectly. Because the first Hebrew group was known as the Moorish Zionist Temple. Big facts. We can't make this up. We can't make this up. You know, go look it up. See, it's telling you about the Moorish Zionist Temple. Yeah, we can't make this up. We giving y'all the truth. Now, what you do with it after this on you. There you go right there. Look at the sign. Moorish Zionist Temple. First time the prophet used the term Moorish Divine and National Movement was 1916. Moorish Divine National Movement. Here's our brother, Rabbi Ford. Like I said, we flying through the demonstration at this point. Rabbi Ford, right there. They give a rundown. See, I put links in this. I'm going to give y'all this PDF too when I'm done with it. The Moorish Zionist Temple and history of its origins. The Moorish Zionist Temple, also known as the Moorish Holy Zion Temple of America, has a rich history and fascinating origins. It is a religious organization founded by Noble Drew Ali, born Timothy Drew in the 20th century. They saying the prophet founded the Moorish Zionist Temple. It says Ali was born in North Carolina, 1886, spent his early years in the South as an adult. He traveled throughout the country and teaching and preaching a message of unity and self-determination for African Americans. He believed that African Americans who had been stripped of their culture and heritage needed to reclaim their roots and establish their own identity. In 1913, Ali founded the Moorish Science Temple of America in Newark, New Jersey. It was a spiritual and social organization that aimed to promote self-improvement, self-empowerment among African Americans. The organization grew rapidly and had chapters throughout the country. It was during this period that Ali began to incorporate elements of Judaism into his teachings. He believed that African Americans were the descendants of the ancient Israelites and that they should reclaim their Jewish heritage. He taught that the original Jews were black and the Bible had been tampered with and to hide their true identity. The Moorish Zionist Temple was founded in the 1920s as a branch of the Moorish Science Temple of America. There you go. So you Hebrews, y'all are children of one Father, provided for by his care, like our Holy Covenant of Asiatic nations say. Whether y'all know it or not, your organizations in its roots, its original teachers, Rabbi Herman, Mordecai Herman, Rabbi Matthews, Renwright Matthews, Rabbi Ford, all fathers of the Hebrew Israelite movement, they were students of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It focused specifically on reclaiming Jewish heritage and Americans promoting Zionism. So that was their promotion when it came to the Zionists.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So you say the Hebrews, so the Hebrews' father goes all the way back to Noble Drew Ali, and they don't even know what you're saying.
Back to Noble Drew Ali,
man.
So they hate their own
I don't know.
You see it?
Matthews,
Don't you see
man.
it?
I don't know no damn Ford.
Be quiet while I'm talking.
Hold on, you gotta be quiet, Apostle. We're getting ready to open up the panel in a minute.
You jump
we getting ready to open up the panel.
I
Don't you
can
come
do
between
that.
my bill. I kick you off this panel. So okay. So look, here's Rabbi Ford. It's right here. They can't rebut it. Disprove it is what I want you to do. I don't care about what you don't agree with.
Where's
That's
Rabbi
why I'm
Ford?
on you.
Rabbi Ford, one more time.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm cutting into him. Yes, sir. That's Rabbi Ford right there. See him with his turban on right there? Sir?
Yeah, hold up. He's the one standing holding something.
And that's him holding it. That's him holding the base. Because he the one that created that.
And those are the Moors right there he's with.
Yeah, the one, the Moorish Zionist temple.
Got him.
And
Got him.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Got
but
him.
look, right, look right here, sir. Look right there. See that?
Oh,
Moorish
man.
Zionist temple.
Yes. Got him, man.
We can't make this up. And you know who took that picture?
Who?
A brother by the name of Rezendi. He took a lot of the pictures of our people, Bill Cosby back in the days. I even got a picture where he captured Noble Drew Ali, brother. But he took a lot of pictures.
So the Hebrews' father goes all the way back to Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Yes, sir. When it comes to the modern movement,
it wouldn't be no Hebrews in America.
It wouldn't be no Hebrews, brother. They was one of the many schisms that, and that's why I say I got information that's gonna make them mad. So, you know, you can get mad.
Black Sage is gonna dispute all that. Black Sage
they gonna come in here and try to dispute it, but
it's not a point of disputing.
They're gonna have to show me. They're gonna have to show. Will you shut your mouth, Apostle? And I don't mean to come at you like that, brother, but stop cutting in my bill. I'm doing a presentation here. Goodness gracious. You disrespectful, man. That's why I'm surprised you like this. You didn't used to be like this. The truth hurt. But had y'all not been disrespecting and taking them sneak shots, I wouldn't be on your head. And ain't one of y'all that want to debate me.
Bring it out. That's right. That's right. They don't want to debate
y'all that want it.
They don't want to.
I don't want to hear your opinion or what you don't like or what you don't think is the truth. Bring some facts up here. So my question is, Sar, that now you here, where was Suleiman all this time?
I've been here, brother. I've been here.
No, I'm saying, I'm just saying, I'm saying, where was Suleiman all this time? That Prophet Noble Drew Ali was doing all the teaching, the one they say was supposed to be the prophet teacher. Where was he?
Wow.
Where was he? I'm finna show you where he was, because after the prophet left in 1922, Suleiman, so-called Egyptian Mason, this is the picture your boy tried to show, Judah Nazareth, right? Look at what it says here. Convert sought by Mohammedans, Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman, a native of Arabia, 143 West 130th Street, Manhattan, high priest of Mecca, for a number of years. Now, I wonder how he became the high priest of Mecca. Has inaugurated a movement for spreading Mohammedanism among the Negroes of the United States. A number of Muslim groups have been started, particularly one in Newark, New Jersey, under the name Canaanite's Temple. Now, I'm going to show you where the confusion coming in at. Because remember, Prophet Noble Drew Ali left the Canaanite temple to your boy and them, Dixon them. This is 1922, after Prophet Noble Drew Ali has left. Suleiman now comes into the picture dealing with them. He didn't have nothing to do with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So the Canaanite temple was incorporated then on the Reverend Dixon now, with Suleiman nowhere being mentioned in that record. But anyway, it says, look, it says Sunday morning, July 22nd, 1923. That's when this article is from. They that sat in darkness, speaking of carrying war into Africa, the Mohammedans have decided to carry religion into America. Dr. Abdul Suleiman, a native of Arabia for years, a high priest of Mecca. Again, I wonder where you get that title from. He has come to this country to convert it, or at least so much of it as may be open to the reasons he shall present for embracing faith in Allah and his prophet. A number of Muslim groups have been started, the largest in Newark, New Jersey, which under the name Canaanite Temple is said to have a large growing membership. Dr. Suleiman has inaugurated a movement for spreading Mohammedanism among the American Negroes. The black groups fraternize with white groups, these latter consisting as yet mostly Turks and Syrians. All the groups are combining to erect a large stately mosque in Newark, New Jersey. Suleiman is an American not necessarily to oust the Christian religion, which he admits has many good points and far better than no religion at all. He would not interfere with the Christian churches in any way. If Christians see the flock to Mohammedanism, he will welcome them with cordiality and affection. But what he is after especially is America's great non-Christian population, the American heathen. He finds these pagans fairly intelligent and more or less civilized. But their ignorance of natural and revealed theology is as dense as that of a tomcat. Many of them have never so much heard of the Quran, and some who have heard of it blasphemously make sport of it, declaring it to be inferior to the Bible. Basically, Suleiman, his inauguration wasn't dealing with the religion of Islam. It was Western Freemasonry, family. And that's why we asked the question, and we prove it right here. After Negro Shriners, high priests of Mecca would put them in the right light. He is close to the great prophet. Who is the great prophet, though? Who is this great prophet that Suleiman is close to? In our authority, in the affidavit in the back of the Moorish Holy Quran, I meant the questionnaire, it speaks and says the Moorish Science Temple of America deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and the truth of the great prophet of Ali in America, to appoint and consecrate missionaries of the prophet and establish the faith of Muhammad in America. This is for those who think that we don't honor the Quran. We derive our power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad. But the great prophet of Ali is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You see, how do we know this right here? Huh? So when we come over here in Suleiman and saying he's close to the great prophet, hear, oh, hear, all ye Asiatic nations, I, your prophet, this Prophet Noble Drew Ali speaking, come with salvation and peace for you. Come now before it is too late. I can help you. Don't delay. Come now. There will be a mass meeting at the Moorish Science Temple of number 11, 817 Broad Street, South Broad Street, the northeast corner of Broad and Christian Streets. Sunday afternoon, November 18th, 1928, 3 o'clock in the evening at 8 o'clock. The great prophet, Noble Drew Ali, will be the chief speaker. There will be other speakers from Chicago, other temples, and so on and so on. So this epithet, great prophet, has always been one of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So to the great prophet, that means that he too had to acknowledge who Prophet Noble Drew Ali is. And see, this is why I say I ain't put everything out there after I've seen you ruffians trying to steal the information and weaponize it against the Moors. See, that's what you get. And I got more than this. I ain't gonna be able to read all that on here. I got more than this, like probably 17 other different clippings on this. Listen, Abdul Hamid offers the real thing in Mohammedan masonry. Master of the Quran gets mixed and myth when asked to answer pointed questions. So it says, he wrote to the world saying, I, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, of the city of Khartoum, Sudan, Egypt, a Mohammedan by birth, master of the Quran, having pilgrimage to Mecca 3 times, and thus became an eminent high priest. Who told him that? Where's the proof that he was acknowledged as that? And head of all Masonic degrees in Mecca. I look for the Masonic degrees in Mecca. The only Masonic lodges that have been established in the East was the one was established by the European, especially the 96 rite, which is the 96 rite of Mitzrayim. But I don't see no lodge of the 96 rite of Mitzrayim in Mecca.
Yo,
established in Egypt.
I'm in Rob McCarthy asking you a question. What is the difference? What is the difference of this and NOI?
Oh, the difference between the Moorish Science Temple and NOI?
Yes, that's what he's saying, yes.
Yeah, well, the difference is, brother, to be honest with you, originally, the NOI taught MST of A teachings. I'm going to show that to you in a minute. You know, so there really is, the only difference is they came forth with a doctrine saying Farad Muhammad was their God, you know, and they never called Elijah Muhammad a prophet. They called him a messenger. Right. You know, but Asiatic and certain questionnaires, they caught Elijah Muhammad with this when they arrested him for draft dodging. They caught him with the 102s and 101s on it. You understand? The questionnaire that they have about the Europeans going into Europe and being roped off in the hills of Europe, that was in the 102s questionnaire. You know, we're going to show that in a minute. So it's really no big difference between our NOI family. It's just that Farad and Elijah capitalized off of the disunion after going amongst the Moors, and they took people from them, took members. Ali Muhammad did a measure recently talking about Abdul Muhammad, who was one of the first ministers of Farad Muhammad that was a Moorish member. Matter of fact, the brother from Arizona.
All right,
come here. Go ahead,
Scott. 2 hours in, man. I want to open up the platform. So
okay, well,
be up here too late.
Okay, well, what I want to do before we open up, I just want to fly through these last slides because they're very important.
All right, go ahead.
Closing out, because I really done made my case about Suleiman. You know, this is really going into the symbolism that they was talking about. I just want to prove that this stuff was around. Like they talk about, oh, the hand clasp is Masonic. Man, they've been shaking hands since Sumerian Kemet. You know, we want to show you that right there. So stop it with the foolishness. You know, here we have a symbol that all of us seen if we seen any NOI papers. You know, but if you see it, unity is strength. Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught that. That's what the hand clasp member. Disunity is weakness. Now, this is why I said that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you know, could have been affiliated with the Odd Fellows, because the Odd Fellows have this symbol, the eye in the hand clasp. You see, friendship, love, and truth, right? We can see that. You know, we just being honest with you, but we can't prove that. We can see the symbolism, but we can't prove that. But the Odd Fellows are not Masons. This is coming from a Masonic site right here. That's where I got this from, family. You know, like I said, we flying through this right here so we can open it up. But I'm clicking on the link that's taking you right here. I got this from a Masonic site. See this here? It said, these are not Masons. This is Mason saying this. Offended? Too bad. These are actually Odd Fellows. You have just had a knee-jerk reaction based on ignorance. This is what the Masons said. I just went to their website. Are the Odd Fellows part of Freemasonry? By Todd E. Cress in 33rd Degree. In 18th century English, it was odd to find people organized for purpose of giving aid to those in need for pursuing projects for benefit of all of mankind. Those who belonged to such organization were called Odd Fellows. You know, and I get the question a lot. Believe it or not, the Independent Order of Odd Fellows is not affiliated with or a appendant body of Freemason. You see, this is what the Mason said. Now you can take that how you want to take it. You see? So flying on through here. Running them down. And we address some of the other stuff if we have to, you know, that I on my scimitar. So anyway, I ain't gonna go over this because this really reiterating about Dr. Suleiman. This is a comparative chart showing how he couldn't have been around We see Prophet Noble Drew Ali predates Suleiman in his teaching. We see that Suleiman was nowhere around teaching the prophet. So that lie has been debunked. Nobody can never tell that to you again unless you just want to believe that nonsense. You see? So let's keep going. We on the road. We have here where Suleiman actually had a meeting. See the fez he got on his head? He met with Arthur Schomburg. If you ever heard of the Schomburg Library in New York, Deuce Muhammad Ali, John E. Bruce, you know, who is actually featured here. John Edwards Bruce. This is Arthur Schomburg. They were Masons. They was at the meeting of Suleiman. This is this is Marcus Garvey at the funeral of John E. Bruce because him and Deuce Ali was close. That's Arthur Schomburg right there. They were Masons. Masons, it's a Masonic funeral. You see what I'm saying? So these men, we can say, okay, yeah, they was Masonically affiliated. Okay, here is somebody marking, you know, Suleiman in the newspaper. They asked him, well, if you're supposed to be from Mecca, why is your fez written in English? You know, the word Mecca. Here's a Muslim that have a sash on. They got a fez on, and this is Muslim, not Mason, but they got Arabic wrote on their fez. But Suleiman's wrote in English. You know, so when he was asked that question, they say he ran from it. See Mecca up there on his head. So it's a lot of fishy things behind this guy, Suleiman. This is the guy that was running Mecca when Suleiman claimed to be the supreme or the grand high priest, grand Sharif of Mecca, Hassan of Hussein bin Ali. You see, here is the charter that was incorporated after Prophet Noble Drew Ali left in 1922. There go your boy Samuel Dixon that got into the argument with Noble Drew Ali. That's William Turner L. Father. That's Turner L's father, William J. Turner. So these are the ones who reincorporated the Canaanite temple after Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So that was their Canaanite temple. Didn't have nothing to do with the prophet. Suleiman might have been in control of that or with them, but nowhere around. You know, this is a drawing dealing with Noble Drew Ali. What shall we call him? You know, he was asking so often, you know, journalists find trouble selecting a proper name for the Moorish American. Some say Negro, others call him race man, and still other people call him Afro-American, black, colored, etc. Prophet Noble Drew Ali says it that these people have no proper name. Did they not have a national name when first brought to these shores in the early part of the 17th century? If so, what was it? Did not the land from whence they come or they was forced to have a name? So if you notice, Prophet Noble Drew Ali standing with his hand on the Quran, like Lincoln is standing with his hands on the Book of Law. Signs and symbols of a conscious mind, men and women of understanding. Lincoln was an attorney at this time. So he was talking about his client, and basically Lincoln was saying it was no crime. You know, it's basically my client is not a Negro. He said it is a crime to be a Negro. It says no crime to be born with black skin. But my client is not a Negro. His skin may not be white as ours, but I say he is not a Negro. This is before he was the president. Now he was attorney, though he may be a Moor. And Mr. Lincoln interrupted the judge, Judge Davis, scarcely able to restrain a smile. You mean a Moor? M-O-O-R, not Moor, M-O-O-R-E. Well, Your Honor, Moor, M-O-O-R, and not C-H Moore, replied Mr. Lincoln, with a sweep of his long arm toward the table where Moore and I sat. I say my client may be a Moor, but he is not a Negro, right? So we see, you know, the headdress of a Moor that was very famous. Like I say, we flying through these demonstrations. Angelo Solomon, that's his headdress. Look at the pyramid. These are symbols that found in our charters later in the Moorish teaching. Next to Angelo Solomon is the Prince among Thieves, Abdul Rahman, who was actually freed by using the name Moor. So I'm showing you that Prophet Noble Drew Ali came back with a measure that was so powerful in reclaiming our people that was already done before he even did it. He said here, after all his experience, this is Noble Drew Ali, don't let any of those foreign Muslims get up on your roster. He learned that after dealing with Suleiman now. These Muslims who once enslaved African mothers and fathers while holding the great Quran behind their backs are not strong enough to free the Moors to lead them to paradise. That's my chairman commentary. The high name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I was given a high name over there in Mecca, but you cannot use it over here. Be good Moors, and I will give it to you. If he say he was given a high name over there, he's referring to a time when he was over there. You see? And so his name actually refers to his journey. El-Hajj, you know, his Hajj to Mecca. Sharif, the noble, was given to him by Ibn Saud. Abdul, given to him by Ibn Saud. And on his way back through Morocco, he received the name Ali from Morocco. So that's El-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali. It represents his journey. His enemy, right here, Sadi Majid, which I done showed y'all on countless times. He said that this is why he was upset with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He said, man, this man right here, he went over there to get a fatwa against Prophet Noble. You know that's a death sentence when you get a fatwa. But he went to get one 3 months before now Prophet Noble Drew Ali passed. He went over there to them, all the scholars, and he said that Noble Drew Ali say he had gained his knowledge in the city of Fez, and he had met with leaders in the Islamic religion in Egypt, the Hijaz, Iraq, and all the scholars testified that he the prophet promised of all time. And he began to preach to the world. He said the secret of his prophet was Jesus. So his enemy saying he heard Prophet Noble Drew Ali teach that he had went to Kemet. It's enough to me hearing Noble Drew Ali say he did it. This same enemy is the one that convinced Prophet Noble Drew Ali right-hand man to betray him. That's Malachi York teacher, Dr. Ibn Dr. Sheikh Ibn Dawood. You know, we have another measure here dealing with Farad Muhammad, but we ain't gonna go into it now. You know, it's too long. This is really proving, you know, that he definitely was affiliated though with the prophet. We have Elijah Muhammad here when he was standing right there, Farad Muhammad in front of him, Elijah behind Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the first meeting. This is Elijah Muhammad's name on the Adept book. I showed this to the people before. That's another close-up of the picture. That's Elijah Muhammad there. Elijah Muhammad there. You know, we found out who Farad Muhammad is. You know, there he is. And that's him I found under the name Fuad Mehmed Bey. That's how I found out, you know, that they were using the flag of the Young Turks. This is Fuad Mehmed Bey on the fireplace of Elijah Muhammad, him sitting in the chair. That's a crop out from him right down there in the pictures in Detroit. This is before he started teaching the NOI. Fuad Mehmed Bey. Bey means master. So if you put Bey on the front, it would be Master Fuad Mehmed. Master Fuad Muhammad. See the flag? This was before he started teaching the NOI. I had a picture. I put the mustache on him, you know, to see who it was right here. Look at that. Young Turks. He right here with the Young Turks in 1908. Look at that. If that ain't the same man, I don't know what it is. So that's Fuad Mehmed Bey. He was the one that established the Allah Temple of Islam. He was called Prophet Fuad. I have a lesson from the NOI, you know, right here, old lesson too, you know, where it tell you right here, as he began or continued to teach his strange new doctrine, Farad, he began to make converts from Noble Drew Ali's followers, from Marcus Garvey's followers, and other disenchanted blacks. How can he make converts unless he went amongst them? See, this is that same picture. It's a little clearer here too. See it? Farad, Elijah, and they standing right here in line behind the prophet. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Farad, Elijah Muhammad. All you got to do is look at the posture. That soldier-like posture that Elijah got, standing up, right? Come on, man. We can't make this stuff up. And like I told y'all, we almost done. See this here? Who were Adam and Eve? They were the ones who brought about discord in the holy city of Mecca, were cast out. Where did they go? They went in a year. What is the modern name given to the children? Romans. What is the shade of that skin? Pale. Who is God in the holy city of Mecca to keep them from returning? Angels. Come on now. Who are these people that were ran out of the holy city of Mecca in the year? The same one that the NOI lesson mentioned right here. Because the earth belongs to the original black man, and knowing the devil was wicked, and there will be no peace among them, he put them out on the worst part of the earth and kept the best part, preserved for himself. Ever since he made it, the best part is the whole in Arabia, holy city of Mecca. The colored man Caucasian of the devil. Why did we run Yakuba, his made devil, from the root of civilization over the desert into the caves of West Asia, as they now call it Europe? What is the meaning of you and Ro? How long ago? What did the devil bring with him? You know, it goes on. And it tell you, again, you know, he ran them across into Europe. They went savage into the hill caves. U means hillside. Rope is the rope to bind them in. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught that first. Another descendant, Kirkman Bey, 1934 potion. He the reason why Moors following the herd statutes and Robert's rules of order instead of the Grand Quran. Which book did Prophet Noble Drew Ali say he derived his power and authority from? The Holy Quran. Here's our brother Frederick Turner L. I was just showing him to you a few minutes ago. International Moor, you know, who established and kept the teaching of the prophet to be truthful. Here's a brother Ishmael Sampson, who was a member of the Moorish Science Temple, who actually was converted by Master Farad Muhammad. And he started his own movement, Universal Muslim Brotherhood. Here's some more children of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All these groups came from the prophet. Here is the father of Captain Joseph, who was on Malcolm's security detail. William Gravidale, this is Joseph, Captain Yusuf Shah's father, friend of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was a Moor. See that? Newark, New Jersey, out of the same temple too, where that information came from. Yeah. You see, this is your boy when he came back, Lomax Bey, after betraying the prophet, establishing his Dini Allahu Islam movement, Hamitic Moors, and the Moors that followed up with him. Look at them. They got their own flag up there. And then around that time came my chairman teacher, who was actually started in 1926, Brother R. German Bey. You see, the Prince of Peace. I'm just running through. I ain't reading this stuff here. This is who taught my chairman. He was an adept. Y'all will get it in the PDF when I send it to you. I'm going to just run through this. This is R. German Bey with Frederick Turner L. This is my chairman sitting in the mayor's seat in 1974 with his seeds. You know, this is my chairman standing right here with R. German Bey and the Adepts. You know, this is him in the MST of A. This is him coming out of the age of preparation into the age of fulfillment, establishing the Moorish American government. Right here, you know, he was actually told, you know, by the Cook Bay brothers, which were other adepts that were made during the time by Noble Drew Ali as adepts. They gave him the charter, the Temple 13, and they told my chairman to stand on that charter like they seen my holy prophet and our holy prophet standing on the charter.
All right, brother, how many more you got left? How many more slides?
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
that's the last one. Yeah, these are the last few.
Good.
Yeah, like I say, I'm just going through them. Yeah, these, I'm literally finna open up the flow right now. That's why I say I'm flying through them. I ain't reading them all. I'm just trying to show these people the stuff. So this was a random brother here growing up poor who met the Prince of Peace. Wasn't even an MST of A brother. This is where a lot of our symbolism come, you know, right here through the camels, you know, the crescents, the moon, all of that come from the charter of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I reproduced it, you know, under our measure here. This is the symbolism that we have of our symbols and flags. I'm showing that this stuff come out of Kemet. That's the point I'm trying to make, sir. You know, and let these people know everything we got can be traced back to Kemet. And that's why a lot of these people are jealous. They're jealous because we can trace ourselves back to the source and we honest enough to do it. But the Hebrews got to try to find themselves any caravan that they can that's lucrative to make themselves look like they exist. But they can't really find a place where they exist. And the true place where they exist, they reject it. They Canaanites, but they don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept it. See, this is the from the Orisha. So this is the crown of the man and the crown of the sister. Look at that scimitar and stuff. Look at the seven that rule over it. In the Orisha teaching, Ish and Isha, Esh and Eshu, the life forces. That's the master word. They got mad at my chairman for revealing. But anyway, this is the government of Gibraltar. Tariq Ibn Zayed, that our brother Dr. John Henry Clark speak of. See, he has the scimitar, see the stars there? Everything we got can be traced back. Elijah Muhammad spoke of a new rule and a new teacher with new teachings to teach a government. Farrakhan didn't do that. My chairman, the only one came behind them building government. You see, he came with a flag and everything. and it was acknowledged and represented. That's the flag. The flag can be traced all the way back to antiquity. If you look at it, the symbol from the seal of the sword and the star between Morocco and Saudi Arabia really conforms into the flag. Yeah, we at the end right now, people. And if we were to put Arabic on it, that's what it would look like. When you put the flag of Saudi Arabia and Morocco together, it would be the same as the flag that we have. These symbols are indigenous to Islam. You see? They always have been, before there was a Shriner's order. Muhammad, in his degrees, going through the 7 heavens, he wrote a sphinx into the heavens, which was symbolic to what the camel is to us now. Huh? Where did they get that concept from, sphinx and man? See, we can't make this stuff up. Y'all know what it means to be on the square? The 7 eyes of Allah and the star. Look at the boat of Herakuti, Ra. It's look like a scimitar, don't it? Because it is symbolically, it's the Big Dipper floating or rotating around the polarises. This comes from somewhere. These degrees that we have right here, these 7 degrees, they in the book of Laylola, Africa. These same degrees that we have, these 7 degrees, these are our degrees, and they are not Masonic. I'm going to send this to y'all. We got the black Fez degree, red Fez degree, white Fez degree. Those represent degrees of unfoldment. The gates that are mentioned in ancient Kemet, the gates, the arets, all of that right there represent what our degrees represent without having to go into that right now. And these are the last few slides. You'd rather be one than see one, though. A swift angel. That's what our holy prophet was. For those who say that my chairman was banned from the temple, here's my chairman in the temple making one of the last adepts that they made, and may he rise in power. That's my Grand Mufti. He passed for him. Sister Austin Bay, that's our German Bay. My teacher's wife, she passed for him. Clifford Jackson Bay, they passed for him. All of them, may they rise in power. My chairman's still here. He's still here. Graham Bay still here. That's Sister Austin Bay with her adept jewel on. You can see her and the chairman there. That's them back in the days. You know, like I said, they made my Grand Mufti and adept, took him through the chamber. Dent Bay, Graham Bay. That's Dent Bay and Graham Bay when they was in the prison, and my chairman was teaching them. You see, I'm showing you my lineage, and you see where I get it from. That's my Mufti again with all of them. We at the end of the slides now, family. This is, you know, black Fez, red Fez, white Fez, which represents the chemistry, ministry, and mystery in our degrees. You know, the Fez existed since 1176 BC. See them with the white Fez on? We got the one that was demonstrated in Samaria all the way to the one in 711 by the Moors. We always had that headdress. Here's the brother Kirkman Bay. The prophet told the Moors not to mark their Fez, but he did it anyway. He took a marked Fez off of our German Bay head, told him to be the plain truth. These are the Fezes that were created by the Masons. The Moors own the Fez. You got Negro Fezes. They wear Mecca, Allah, Islam, and tell you they don't know what it means. But look at the European. Muslim, if you don't accept it, the European on record. You see, the last lodge they opened up recently in the 2020s was the Lodge of Ali, a Shriners organization. 1886 is where Noble Drew Ali was said to be born. North Carolina. I wonder why they call their lodge or their Shriners temple Ali. Like this, what they call the apron. The apron right there, you see it in Kemet. So you gonna say that's Masonic when it existed thousands of years before Masonry? You know, we had the Mosaic Templars. This is what I believe has influenced our prophet too. These are the people that established Black Wall Street. You know, and it was people in the Moorish movement that helped build that. This is their symbol, 777333. The Moors got that. Oscar the Priest. He was part of the political measure. He lectured there. Oscar the Priest had attended meetings. He was a member of the temple. He attended meetings with Caesar R. Blake that became an adversary suitor. So now that you want to know where our justice go at, this is where Saw dropped the bomb at. The hand clasp. Look at it. being demonstrated in Kemet. Look at the sister with her hand over her heart, just like the prophet. But you say it's Masonic. When the European do it, they put their hand in their garb. They hide it. His is outside of the garb. In Kemet. Before Shriners organization was even thought about, sitting down with his hand on his heart. There it go again with the prophet with his hand on his heart. That's Keti, which means noble, a scribe, with his hand over his heart, right hand over the heart.
You bringing it out now in the end.
Huh? Yes, sir. I had to show this part. We done after these here. Look at that. Noble Drew Ali showing his hand. Remember I told y'all this means Allah. So if Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, where's the nearest place we can meet it? In the heart. So if this is the symbol in Kemet with them unveiling Allah from the heart, then Noble Drew Ali was revealing to them people the science the whole while. They say he held his hands up and he had the sash on. So that's why he was a Shriner. Fool in Kemet, they've been holding their hand up in adoration of Allah. Look at that on his body. Look at the sash on his body. I ain't gonna call you no idiot. But anyway, look at that.
You going in, you bringing it out. One thing about you, brother, is that you give credit back to home. This is why the Israelites, they don't want to do that. They want to trash it. They want to trash Kemet. They want to trash their father and their mother. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, we finna open up right now, but check it. Look, they praising the Jed pillar.
That's it.
Look at that. This is all over the place. Before Noble Drew Ali was born. So I guess this sheikh right here, this high priest, this Moslem, he was a Mason too. Even though he did it way before Masonry come into existence with their sign. No, idiot. This is the way that the Muslims pray. They lift their hands up and say Allahu Akbar. That's called the Takbir Tarima. So when Noble Drew Ali demonstrated this right here, he was giving adoration to the people. He was showing them that he honored them. So there have been a lot of stuff about them saying the prophet never traveled. Like I said, I'm going to send all this to the people. They'll be able to see it themselves. I ain't going to read it. But this is actually when Noble Drew Ali came back from Havana, Cuba. And this is the document. I found it, saw after looking through the census records. It showed Noble Drew Ali, Charles Kirkman Bay right here, bro. 1928. Official document. When they say he ain't went there. I found it. You see, this is Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey. This is from the European newspaper. This is the actual postcard where Noble Drew Ali told his wife he was going to see Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and they talked about it here in this clipping of him going to see Garvey. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Garvey actually met each other. This was another picture from our brother James Vendier I was telling y'all about early. He kept a lot of records, sir. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali performing one of his dramas. See how he's acting like he's sticking the sword in his chest? That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Huh? So yeah, we know he divinely prepared the Moorish Holy Quran. This is where he get his head dressed from. Now y'all say Shriner. No, see where it say Libyan? These are the ancestors of the Moors. Look at that feather coming up out of that sock. Just like Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He got that from our people. Huh? Look at the sash on the brother here. Look at the sash on this brother here. I guess they Masons too, huh? Look at this. Look at the garb that they have on. All of this is pre-Noble Drew Ali, pre-Shriner. So when we look at him and we know where he got his garb from, put some respect on my prophet name. Huh? He say he got this from the royal. This is the garb of the royal prince. He got it from the government. He wasn't talking about the United States government. And guess what, sir? My chairman gave me mine. He sent me his headdress, and he sent me this garb. I, the one did the sash. It's only 3 of them. The one like Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I made it with my own hand. So in closing, to those of you hollering that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason, this brother was a Mason. You know, he started what is called the Moorish Rite. He's the patriarch of that. There you go with my chairman right there. He got our ensigns in his hand. But does that mean because my chairman stood beside him, saw that my chairman was a part of his organization? No. Does that mean that he was part of, the government? No. This is the type of argument these people make. But we can prove that Farrakhan is affiliated with Masonry. He in the regalia right here. He holding up the picture of John G. Jones. He was given an honorary degree. But had the NOI followed the course of Message to the Black Man, Theology of Time to the Exhuming of a Nation, we'll be a free people, to answer our brother McCarthy's question. You want that book? Call my chairman and get it. The Exhuming of a Nation. And honors to the NOI, the Uniting of the Asiatic Nations is at hand. I had a dream that inspired this, and me and the minister in Nuri sat down, and had a grand conversation, and it made me make this collage right here. We give honor to our brother El Logos for giving with our NOI family. The 85th Psalm, 10 through 14, that's what represents us. And honor to our brother 7 Islam, because that's a symbol of the government and the